I know what's going on. You ain't got to tell me what's going on. I know what's going on.
Don't podcast.
I ain't even kid.
Magnum PI right there.
Kid, no. Kid, no. Here, then.
Yeah, what's good? We back again. What's up, E?
I ain't got my headphones on.
What's up, E?
What's happening?
What's up, Big Tone?
Man, the sun got closer.
1989.
1989.
Sun got closer.
It's a good year.
What you
Well,
mean? It got hot today?
we had that earthquake that year.
Loma Prieta.
Wait. Look, he said the sun got closer. I jumped to a whole nother topic. Then I came back to the sun got closer. He went to the 1989.
He said the
So
earthquake.
wait. You had me thinking. What do you mean by the sun got close? What you mean? It's hot.
It's hot, bro.
Yeah, it's kind of warm. It
Hot
kind
in the
of.
motherfucker.
I ain't been out there really all day until just now. So
Motherfuckers thought it was gonna be like 90 all week and shit. Then they whammed us with 100, over 100.
It's funny, man. You know, people say in Sac it's like 10 days. But it's hot in the motherfucker.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm
so
saying?
anyway, 1989 is a year. Isn't that the beginning of
It
the
is.
song?
It might be.
1980. Where was
9 is a number.
Yeah.
Get down.
So
For the
reminds
funky
us
drummer.
of do the right thing. Because that's
Yeah.
Fight the Power, right?
Yeah.
Which was
That's
a movie that came out in 1989. We're gonna speak on 1989 today. Kind of a different format.
It's another good year.
It's gonna be we're gonna have shows where we base them completely on that year, and whether it be hip hop, R&B, or whatever was going on that year, we're gonna speak on it. So this year, this episode, we're gonna talk on 1989. So just to put y'all in that 1989 groove, that 1989 feel.
1989.
What did I say?
99.
Did I?
89.
It's
What,
89.
what year are we talking about?
89.
Oh, that was a good year too. 1989. I can't.
19.
Anyway, so
Nobody know.
so 1989. First of all, the average price of a car was, anybody know?
Shit. Let's
What
see.
do you think?
7,000.
The average price of a car.
Probably 13.
10.
You got 1310. Average price of a car was $15,000.
15,000. Damn.
Yeah, kind of high.
Yeah.
Because BMW 325 at that time was $21,000.
Damn.
BMW 325. How much is that now? Shit, I know 50.
50? Gotta be
Yeah,
50.
starting at 50 probably.
Yeah, I mean, you probably can get a stripped down model, which they don't make. That's the funny thing.
Yeah,
We got the
stripped
stripped
down
down model.
BMW.
We got the stripped down model starting at 35, but we don't make those. So the next one is at 49.
So yeah,
Somebody got that in Europe.
So the average price cover car was $15,000. BMW 325 was $21,000. So what was the average price of gas in '89 per gallon? What you thinking?
$1.25.
What you got, Cone? I don't think I was driving yet, so
89? You should.
I started. No. I started driving like at the end. I started driving like in '90. I was late on my shit.
Oh, I was driving then.
I didn't drive as a senior. I was a senior in high school, so.
That was probably, I don't know, shit.
97 cents.
In the 80s?
97 cents?
97 cents a
Damn.
gallon.
A gallon.
Wow. Huh? So it made me some of the highlights before we even get into the highlights. We talking about go back to the car, a Hyundai Excel. You know, that's the car that all the black girls,
All the black
all the
girls
black
love that
girls
car.
had. I remember I used to talk to a chick that had one. The Hyundai Excel.
I knew hella girls.
You remember that the reason why that car was so popular? Hyundai had came to the United States.
Mm-hmm.
They had put out, their car. I think they had a couple of cars. The Hyundai Excel and maybe the Accent. I ain't for sure.
Something like that, the accent, yeah.
Yeah, Excel. But the Hyundai Excel sold for $4,995.
Is that what it was?
That's why there's so many of them
I
out
thought the
there.
motherfuckers just didn't care about no
Oh,
credit.
cheap.
Yeah, they was hella cheap.
Everybody
I mean,
was
shit.
getting financed.
You didn't have to have good credit for $4,000.
I
you know
remember
what I'm
it
saying?
was $88 a month was the payment.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. I remember that too. So you had the Hyundai Excel for $4,995. It's a trip because you don't see none of those cars.
Nope.
You know Hyundai came a long way, but those cars you don't see. You don't see them
like
in
them
store.
motherfuckers.
not even the car show. You don't see none of them motherfuckers. So yeah, that was
Car payments were under $100. That's crazy.
$88 a month, man.
$88 a month was a special.
Also, and this is just to get everybody in the feel in 1989. We're gonna speak on music and stuff. That's what we're gonna get to eventually. But Lexus and Infiniti were first launched this year.
Woo!
So the Lexus LS and the
Super Coupe?
and the Infiniti.
Oh, I thought the Super Coupe came. That was clean as shit.
Now that was you talking about the two-door?
Yeah.
The SC.
That was-
That might have been the year after or something. But then in the Infiniti Q45 came out. So what they did is they what you call it, revealed it in '89. Came out in 1990. So both of those came out. Lexus just started. Infiniti that was their first cars. Shit.
Should make you think them bad boys was in bed together. Because that's Toyota and
That's
Nissan.
kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy because
Yeah.
they both from
Japan.
Japanese
Yeah,
motors.
Toyota and Nissan.
So you figure, yeah, one knew the other one was coming out, so they both got to work. I mean, I can't see them working together, Nissan and but they both were, So you got one coming out, we got something coming out. We got a luxury brand coming out too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they both did that. Also in 1989, just to give everybody a feel everything, George H. Bush was sworn in January. Seinfeld premieres July the 5th. I think it
Damn.
was July the 5th.
What do you have, like 25 years running or something like that?
I don't know.
Something crazy, huh?
But even longer than that, The Simpsons were introduced to us.
Yep.
Phew. Is the
Simpsons.
Simpsons still going?
Yep.
I guess.
Something like that, huh?
Tony,
The
a
longest.
Simpson fan.
The Simpsons is, that motherfucker.
I mean, I ain't
It's
watched
cartoon, they
it
don't
the
never
last 10
age.
years.
Shit. It's always
You said last 10 years?
Yeah, I ain't watched it.
You remember in
the last 10 years.
'89 though? Shit, yeah, '89,
wearing
90.
Bart
We was
Simpson.
all wearing them Bart Simpson shirts and shit.
Yep.
I mean, I have a cowman on it and shit.
Yeah.
Corny ass. I just wear that shit. Thought I was cool.
That's the longest running sitcom.
You go, yeah?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we got so we had that. We had some bad things happen. You had the Stockton schoolyard shooting. If you remember that, when old dude shot and killed 5 kids on the
Fuck.
schoolyard, wounded 30 people, 30 kids.
Yeah,
I remember that shit.
remember that shit.
I remember because Michael Jackson, something came down to visit or some shit, and that was big. See the kids and shit.
Yeah. That's before we knew, huh?
We always thought of something. We always thought something. Don't get started
We've
on
seen
that
the
shit.
special. We know.
Tony, your folks, your folks acted a fool that year. The Mendez brothers
Killed their mama and daddy.
killed their parents.
I don't know nobody rich.
Yeah,
They
but-
rich.
Yeah, but they beige like you. They like same color.
They Latin.
Complex. It don't matter. You ain't Latin. You ain't got no Latin in you. Cause
No.
it's fooled me.
I'm a Latin liver, but I'm not a Latin.
So the Mendez brothers shot their parents.
See.
Shit. San Francisco earthquake, as
Yeah.
Tony said earlier.
Fuck
Do you
that.
remember that? Do you remember it?
Yeah, remember it like yesterday.
What were
Yeah.
you doing?
Watching the game.
What were you doing?
I was driving, watching fucking the windows in downtown shatter.
You were downtown?
I was driving on the freeway where you could see
Damn, it was that bad up here?
You saw windows shatter in Sacramento?
Damn.
I ain't seen that. I didn't know that happened.
That motherfucker was like being on a ride.
I
shit
remember
crazy.
I had just got done playing basketball, and I had just walked in the house, and I get these bad migraines when it's hot, and I'm doing too much like playing basketball, so my head was hurting, and I remember I laid down on my mom's bed because the telephone was in there, and I was talking to my girlfriend on the telephone, and at first I thought that I was like getting dizzy because of my headache. Because my mom had these things that hang on the wall with all her like beads and stuff, necklaces and stuff hanging on. And them things were just swaying. I remember they were swaying almost like in a figure 8. Like they weren't swaying back and forth. They were doing like some kind of wave like thing. And I was like, what the fuck? And I said, I think we're having an earthquake. And I remember I walked outside, and by the time I got outside, other people had walked outside too. And I remember seeing like some of the leaves like falling off a tree. Like, and I remember looking up and shit, and by the end it was over, but I just remember some of the trees kind of thing. I was like, damn, we had an earthquake. Then, of course, later on, watching TV, the news, you see you see the real shit that happened in the Bay Area.
Something like 8.9 or some shit. That shit was crazy. He was hella big.
Oh, I was like 6 point something, I think.
What? I think that motherfucker was
Yeah,
big as hell.
because I didn't feel it on the road, but then when I started seeing
Down there
people
was
coming
us.
out of the buildings,
Big as
I
hell.
think it was 6 something. Like 6'9" or some shit like that.
whatever that shit was, that fucked up that
Yeah, look
freeway.
it up and see what it is, because I might be talking real silly about. That's what I thought it was.
That motherfucker was big.
I wasn't for sure on this, but it said that the start of the fall of the Berlin Wall too.
Yeah,
That started in '89,
yeah.
and then that's just some of the stuff. We had the axe.
Damn, you was right. It was only a 6.9.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm bigger than that.
Then we had that Exxon Valdez thing that happened too. The 11 million gallons of oil spilled out there
Yep.
in the water and stuff.
Moms are still working for them. That shit was crazy.
So that was all the boring stuff, but it's just letting you know
Take you back.
kind of shit that we was going through. And then some of the interesting stuff was, Isaiah Thomas,
Yeah.
not the Detroit Pistons, the young Isaiah Thomas, the one that plays basketball now, played for Kings, played for whoever. I don't know who he played for now.
He played for Boston,
Yeah.
Denver, I
So,
think it was.
so he was born that year. So we feel old now. J.J. Watt was born that year. Chris Brown was born that year. G-Eazy was born that year. And so was Taylor Swift. So when I was going through that list, I was looking at names.
their daddy.
There's a whole bunch of
You
names.
could be their daddy.
There was a whole bunch of names, but that's just some of them. I was like, damn. So, getting to what we gonna base the show on, we're gonna do R&B, and I'm sure hip hop's gonna be sprinkled in there. It was a pretty good year for I felt it's a pretty good year for music for me.
It was a
It
good year for music.
was some bullshit in there too, though.
But,
Like,
you know,
bullshit.
Yeah,
You know,
there
I
we
think
go.
that's transition year, right? Don't you think so? That's like
Nope.
when hip hop is stopping and rap is starting to really do its thing.
Well, before we go there, why you say, "Oh, here we go"? You don't think there was no bullshit in '89?
I think there's a lot of bullshit.
I already know what you're talking about.
What am I? No. You don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about. I was gonna say like
I'ma
Tone
talk
Loc.
about
I was gonna say like Tone Loc and
Tone
Busta
Loc,
Rhyme and
Milli Vanilli.
yeah, Milli Vanilli's another one. We talk on Milli Vanilli for a minute.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah,
stand
that was
the
some
rain.
garbage.
Even before we knew that they weren't singing, that was some
like
garbage.
crazy.
We watched them videos. They're like,
It was-
man, who are these cats?
It was
bruh?
garbage to the guys.
No dancing motherfuckers.
It was but it was. Remember, we also had a big European dance craze that was coming
Ooh.
through, like house, like
That's
all that.
not, I wouldn't
house
call
and
that European though.
It was, man. Most of that shit was coming from the UK. Was that house shit?
Well, I will say the very next year in 1990 we had all that Snap, and you're right about
That
that.
was the
shit-
start.
that
was-
shit came.
Yep, it was coming.
But I don't know if
It
that
came
Milli
over slow.
Vanilli comes in that same.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Milli
Milli
Vanilli.
Vanilli wasn't like them.
The guy didn't like that bullshit. But you know, every time he talked to a girl, it was that same old bullshit.
Okay,
about
but what
Milli
girls was
Vanilli.
he talking to that thought that was cool though?
Every one of them.
The bullshit. Man, all you had to do was watch the video. Them girls wasn't feeling that shit.
Them
When you
motherfuckers,
watch
yeah.
the
I'm in
video,
love with you, girl.
Girl, you know which.
See,
And they weren't even
Say
singing
it.
that shit.
Say that
But they
shit.
was doing them corny ass dances.
Hey, we was out there
Ain't none
sweating
of them
out.
motherfuckers
Them
can
motherfuckers
dance.
doing that bullshit.
Man, I didn't dance to that shit.
Yeah, I'm with you.
yeah,
man.
but remember, that was the beginning, and that's the year that when everybody started finding out that people went like what's that chick from the CNC factory.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
She
big
didn't
girl
really
sang.
sing. It was the big girl that sang.
But that wasn't.
Yeah, but that wasn't
we
even
knew
the one.
that shit. We knew that shit
Yeah.
before. There was always people we knew that didn't sing.
Yeah.
But that
When
wasn't
you
never.
watch that shit,
But that
then the girl
CNC
was
Music
on there.
Factory, that CNC, they never
See-
kept that a secret.
Yeah.
They always put her name on the thing. What it was when the video came out, they put the
But the other chick, in it,
little
but they said that
skinny chick. Yeah,
they found her later.
they, that,
Yeah, they always
Yeah.
they always said this to other chick. was
but
singing.
yeah, they always gave credit to the big chick that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
singing.
That's the same chick.
That's what
from
I'm saying.
Weather
But you always watch
Same
the
one,
video.
yeah.
You already
Matter of
seen the
fact, she
video.
was famous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody knew who she
it was.
was.
It was the chick
Weather
from the
Girls.
Weather Girls, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, from the
But
Weather
at the same time, ain't nobody. One of us is gonna check all the credits in their
I
record.
did. That's all I used to do was read out. I used to
I
take
watched
out a
the
tape
video
and I used to
way
read.
Yeah, she was killing it.
I watched the video way before I
I
even
knew.
bothered the bullshit.
I knew it was her
Yeah.
when I watched the video.
I knew it was her when she started singing. I was like, damn.
I knew it was her when I
that
watched the
sound familiar.
video. It was just a trip that it wasn't her on the video. But
Yeah.
you just never thought twice about it because
When
back
you
then,
seen her, you was like, damn.
I mean, when she was singing on the video, when that girl was singing on the video, it was obvious she wasn't singing. Yeah.
Man, you guys paid a lot of attention.
I just knew who she was. I just knew the Weather Girls. I just knew the Weather Girls.
The Weather Girls was famous. Yeah, we knew.
So when that big chick sings, she was one of them strong ass singers that
one
everybody
of those
knew.
like Patti LaBelle voices. You know her.
Everybody knew her when she
come
sang.
through. Yeah.
But that nobody knew about your
Milli Vanilli.
brothers.
Yeah, we didn't know.
No, they German.
You
They
can't
from where
trust.
you
You
from.
can't trust beige motherfuckers in music.
They
I'm telling
German.
you.
They from where you from.
So you trying to say I'll be sure?
Can't trust. He can't sing.
I know that.
That's what I'm saying. Can't trust them beige cats, bro.
He had his year.
He damn sure did.
What year was that? I wonder.
That's
That had been like
87?
89.
88.
Probably prior.
Sing it, Tom. I'm just turning up for you.
I can't do that shit. My voice is too deep.
So we're gonna go ahead and get to the one thing I know y'all gonna say, which I disagree with.
Okay.
Okay, you're gonna say that '89 was whose year in R&B?
Bobby Brown.
Bobby Brown.
Okay, so this is gonna be my argument. It's nothing to do with me not liking Bobby Brown.
Okay.
I was shocked. I was surprised when I looked it up. First of all, I was ready to give Bobby Brown a lot of credit, but come to find out, Bobby Brown's album came out like in '88.
88, yeah.
For some reason, it didn't hit the charts. Don't Be Cruel didn't hit the charts until the next year. So I don't know why, but anyway, that's not even what my argument was going to be. The person whose year it was, to me, after looking at the charts and seeing who stayed at number one the longest and stuff like that, was Karen White.
Yeah.
Karen White killed.
Superwoman was
Karen
like
White
the-
killed
the- like
everybody.
the hit. Superwoman was
And
the
I
shit.
was shocked. I was like, Karen White? What the
Yeah,
fuck you
Superwoman
talking
was-
about?
That was it.
But yeah, Karen White tore shit up. Bobby Brown's Don't Be Cruel, I give it to him.
Yeah.
His album, but he didn't stay. He didn't beat Karen White as far as consecutively staying at a.
Bobby Brown was
number
popping
one.
in the club, but that Superwoman track stayed number one for a long time.
She was
Women
killing
like that
it.
shit.
That shit was that was it.
I remember it, and I remember it. There were some songs on. I just don't remember
Karen White like that.
it being
yeah.
so successful.
You
but,
wouldn't have thought it would be because it just.
But you said it's one of those songs that touch home for a lot of women.
but I don't think it was. It was more than just one song too.
Yeah, she had other tracks on there, but the one I remember just constantly playing was
Superwoman.
that Superwoman.
Yeah.
That was just like, damn.
I'm surprised because it was like I mean, Janet.
Janet didn't come out. Janet didn't come out to the end of '89. The Rhythm Nation didn't come out to the end of '89. I went to that concert too.
That shit was off.
At
I
Oracle
wanted to
Arena.
go to that concert. I didn't go there.
They didn't. She didn't do like Missing Much and all that shit.
Missing
On
Much.
it.
Yeah, missing,
Kill it.
but that
Miss
stuff
You
came
Much
at the
was-
end of the year.
Ooh, that was the knock.
Those are at the end of the year.
But I don't know,
because
though.
I got about months here for a little bit. I didn't do it all the way, but like in January, Anita Baker was number one for a while with giving you the best that I got album.
Yeah.
She was number one for a while.
that was
Matter of fact, for all of January. In February, that was Karen White. Karen White was killing them. In March, Bobby Brown hit, and all of a sudden his shit popped out, and everybody goes with that. What's crazy is after that, I think how did I write this? After Bobby Brown, all of a sudden MC Hammer jumps in, and MC Hammer's another one that was released earlier.
Yeah.
He re-released.
Ring 'em.
Yeah, he re-released it
Yeah.
and got to be number one. But he's only number one for a week.
Yeah.
And then I want to say it went back to Bobby Brown again.
Yeah.
It's a trip how that works. The album, because the same way with Guy. Guy came out in April.
Uh-huh.
In April,
I thought that
and was at
Teddy-
number
that was a-
one.
That was a Teddy spinoff though, wasn't it?
What are you talking about?
Fantasy.
No, Fantasy's way later, bro. We talking about the first Guy album.
You talking about Groove Me?
Yes,
That's '89.
yes.
Ooh shit.
So Groove Me, God damn it.
That's still on my playlist right there. Groove Me. That's the
Yeah.
shit.
Man.
But what trips me out the most is I don't think she's categorized as R&B, but at the same time, I think she was put on that slot as the Paula Abdul.
Paula
Yeah,
Abdul,
she was.
Paula Abdul's another one, but for some reason she's not listed in the R&B like that. When you look up just best when you just look up pop music, are you talking about the R&B chart? I mean, just music
Music
in
in general,
1989.
88, yeah.
Paula Abdul's all over the place.
All
What I was gonna say is, yeah. So So that's the same way. So God comes out in April and is number one for like 2 weeks.
They must re-release that because it comes out
No,
in January '88.
No, but that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Almost all these albums, for some reason, came out in '88, and then they didn't chart until '89. When it came out, it didn't chart. It was. I mean, I'm sorry. It didn't. It was nowhere near number one. When it goes number one, is in April. When God went number one, and then Slick Rick comes out.
The Adventures of Slick Rick.
Adventures of Slick Rick, and that stays number one for a week or whatever, and then it goes right back to Guy again. And Guy cleans up, and then De La Soul comes in, and they stay number one for like 3 or 4 weeks, which I didn't realize. I didn't realize that album stayed number one for so long. But
I don't think at that time we even give a fuck where it was at. It was just good shit.
those are like the tops, the top R&B groups at that time, you know, and then you could throw in at the end of the year you had Janet Jackson. There's some people that we're leaving out. Janet Jackson. I'm trying to think who else was.
Shit, Babyface.
Babyface is in the end of the year too.
I seen that motherfucker on everything.
Yeah,
He was producing his ass off though. Then
he probably had a lot more to do with some of this music.
Yeah.
But,
for sure, he was one of the bigger producers.
As far as Babyface music though, his own them singing or whatever, he was that's near the end of the year too, where he comes in.
Shit, there was Jody Watley.
Jody Watley was in there.
Yep. Who was there?
Shit,
Soul to Soul
Luther had a
out.
week. I was gonna
Soul to
see. I got
Soul.
them. I got Soul to Soul on here, but I got Soul to Soul. I was gonna mention them later.
Damn.
Soul to Soul was one of the groups that. Soul to Soul was one of the groups that actually, I was gonna highlight came out that year.
shit.
So they're one of the Soul to Soul is one of the groups that actually came out.
Surface
we didn't-
is in there.
Yeah.
New Edition. They in
New
there.
Edition, Can You Stand the Rain was at the beginning of the year, I believe,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Remember Sky?
Quick going over, quick naming stuff. Speak on. I was gonna say that those were like the most, some of the most successful people. But like I say, what I was trying to get into, and then you start naming everybody, was groups that
Name
was.
three.
But that's that's 3 on my list. I saw one in it. I started
That's on your list? I can't believe that.
on my list of groups that had good year that we were listening to, because I was gonna go into. So what I was gonna do is, those are the ones that everybody knows.
Yeah.
Now that's not what we were listening to.
Nah.
For instance, we listened to that, but there's a whole bunch of groups that ain't gonna make the list, like Troop, like Today, like there's a whole bunch, and that's what I wanted to go into, as far as everybody knows Karen White, Bobby Brown.
Oh, okay, we going into what
God,
everybody know.
we all know that stuff.
Okay.
But what will we actually listen to at that time? Because you got to remember, at that time, even though, like you said earlier, Babyface was making a lot of music. There's other people that are starting to make their rise too. Teddy Riley is starting now. Mind you, he just made the Guy album, so he's just starting to from what we know now, he had a lot of stuff in the works, because you figure Today comes out, shit, Keith Sweat comes out probably the year before that. Keith Sweat came out before Guy came out. So he's already got I Want Her in there, because he
That's
produced
his classic,
that.
yeah.
So he's starting to blow up. So that's what I'm saying. You got Today, you got a lot of groups. I keep mentioning Today because I remember in 1989 getting ready for school every day. And I used to, I played, it was an actual album, like Wax, the record. I used to play that shit every morning. I knew every song from beginning to end. And I used to love that record. So that's one that I always remember. I'm not for sure, but not far after that, I know Troop comes along. I don't know if that's 89 or 90, but I know Troop's right there. Shit. Then with Troop, like you say, you get, y'all chip in now. Chucky Booker, you got a whole bunch of.
But yeah, Chucky Booker came out. And shit.
He's producing songs. You got a lot of stuff people are listening to at that
I'm
time.
knocking Soul to Soul at that time. That's somebody knocking.
Did you like that Soul to Soul album? I remember the album. I like 2 songs
There's
on
like
there.
3
Yeah.
songs I played.
So that's what I'm saying. I didn't like the album.
So I was playing like 3 songs on there, and let's see.
Nah, I
definitely was playing that Just Coolin'. That was like
Just Coolin' was 89.
Yeah, that was a nice.
yeah, what a
hit.
Levert.
Yeah,
Let's see,
Levert.
Levert was hitting on that.
Casanova had came out a couple of years before that.
Yeah, we talked about Surface, Closer Than Friends. Remember
Yeah,
that joint?
yeah,
That was kind of
yeah.
hitting.
I thought for some reason I thought Closer Than Friends was before the 89. Before 89.
And how about you?
Nah,
That shit was nice.
No, I don't know that song.
My
Get
badass
Closer?
singing.
I thought I knew it until he sung it.
To my badass singing kicked in.
So he bucked up that song.
R&B.
I don't give a fuck.
Rappers are using those old
I don't give a
group
fuck.
beats now.
Hmm?
All those rappers are using those old R&B beats now.
Yeah.
That's some crazy ass shit.
And using and fuck.
It's not no different than what
always
it's no
using that
different
new
than what the
edition.
rappers was doing when we were coming up.
Yeah, it was the same thing.
Yeah, that's true. But
It's just a trip now because we remember them.
Like that
So
was
we like,
classic,
yeah, we
yeah.
like, damn, they using whatchamacallit's beat. They using so and so's beat.
But the New Edition album, shit, I used to knock the shit out of that.
So the New Edition album, me too. But the New Edition album came out before. Can we stand? See, the New Edition album, one of them albums that came out, and there was a lot of hits on that album. So it lasted a while. So it carried over into '89. Because I remember when If It Isn't Love came out. Should we talking about maybe? Shit, it might be. It was summertime, so it was a summer before my 12th grade year. I remember. So '89.
That's
But
what Johnny Gill just adds.
Yeah, Johnny Gill just came. He just come to the group.
Yeah, yeah.
So what did they actually release that in '89?
It's into '88,
Okay,
so it carries over, like you said.
but that was a great album.
Ooh, that's the heartbreak album.
That's
That
a
was
great
cold
album.
as-
That's
You
the
know?
best New Edition album. Period. Johnny Gill fit right in.
Oh, he killed that.
Way better than Bobby.
and there it is, folks. There it is.
Hey, I ain't gonna knock Johnny because JG came through, boy.
He added a whole nother sound to the
He
motherfucker.
came through.
yeah,
Give me
hold on.
some-
I still like
Tony.
Bobby though.
A
But
little,
Give me
ma-
some.
he did
Give me
put a
some.
little mature.
Come on, you know he was. Woo!
Everybody.
He killed it.
Yeah, everybody. He came through with that groan.
Heartbreak. That fool come through. I'm sorry, Eric. You might be right now.
No dancing motherfucker, but he added a.
Everybody sing it.
He added a.
That's the bad too. 'Cause he did all that and then he come out with his single.
But wait.
He
wait,
definitely
wait,
showed
no.
everybody. He couldn't dance on that video.
His album was
My
fat.
is clean.
That
Yeah.
his
But
album
that
was
one
nice.
video,
Put on your red dress. Oh, you talking about the? You want to talk about the one where he's like moving all that shoulder shit? Yeah, rub me the right way. That's what that shit.
I was like, wow.
We on in the '90s though.
Wow.
But yeah, man, he
Wow.
couldn't dance. But you got to admit though, he
Wow.
added a whole nother sound to New Edition.
Yeah,
So New
man.
Edition still had that. They still had to have that because you can't help but have it with Ralph. You're gonna have that kind of teenage bop
Yeah.
kind of like to it because that's the way his
Right.
voice is.
Yeah.
But then you had Johnny Gibb ad-libbing in every song, and when he came in, boy, it's like every song you waited for him to come in at the end because you
Niggas
know that
had the steps
motherfucker's
down
gonna
with
sing.
Johnny, boy. That shit, he had it going. We used to
He had
shit at that.
he had a deeper voice.
That motherfucker
Johnny,
bad.
Johnny had it going, dog. That shit was nice.
Yeah, man. I used to love New Edition, boy.
Yeah, considering he started singing a lot earlier than that shit.
That man, just be real, man.
He had that Stacey
New
Latter
Edition
song.
guy, them motherfuckers raised niggas.
No, he didn't. I mean, I know what you're saying, but he didn't sing no earlier than
Nobody
the rest.
knew him
But he didn't.
other than that one
he-
song.
He didn't start singing no earlier than the rest of the motherfuckers. All of them started when they was 5 years
Teenagers,
old or
they all
whatever.
Teenagers, young as
New
hell.
Edition was young as hell singing. They just never, their voices just never grew into
Men.
boys. to men.
It changed a little. I mean, Ralph still had that kind of like that boy sound, but the other ones came too.
I still believe the rest of them couldn't sing. Ricky could,
Ricky could sing.
but he still sounded the same too.
Ricky could sing.
It was Rick. It was just.
Ricky Bell.
It was just Ricky and
It was
Ralph.
Ricky and Ralph.
And Johnny.
Those are only.
What?
No. We talking about the original.
Don't get.
The rest of them couldn't sing.
Bobby, no, Bobby couldn't sing. It's all right though. He sound good though.
Yeah, I was a New Edition fan all my life.
Shit, I heard that.
He-
We can front him, Mr. Telephone Man, but that
But
shit
he
was
blew up.
I didn't like
He
Mr.
went
Telephone.
solo.
What?
I didn't like Mr. Telephone Man.
That shit was tonight.
Yeah,
They gave Bobby had too big. Bobby had too big a part on that.
This motherfucker, man.
That's the
This
shit.
motherfucker.
Never liked Bobby, bro.
You just a Bobby hater, huh?
Yeah. So
Man, that's the king of R&B.
you out your mind.
He likes the king of pop.
That nigga the king of rocks and blunts.
So just to throw some rap in there at
That's
that
my
time.
dog, though.
Just
Bobby
a-
Brown.
Just to throw some rap in there at that time, EPMD's Unfinished Business came out.
Yep.
Dum, 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 dum,
Nigga, are you gonna sing every
Hell
song
yeah,
that we
you
mentioned?
goddamn right. You taking me back to my years,
Yeah, but you
nigga.
fucking up every
Fuck
song
you,
though.
nigga. I shot the sheriff,
People,
nigga.
you singing these songs and people don't know what the fuck the song
I don't give a
is.
fuck.
We got
I'm
Apple
enjoying
right
my
here.
moment.
Okay,
I'm enjoying my moment, nigga.
okay.
Oh, I had to use a nigga on him. That's, I really come through with that.
Tell me you need one. You got
done?
one more.
You done or you finished?
Motherfucker, I'm just getting started.
All right, go ahead. Let me know when you're done. Now,
They got quiet on the motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
also,
You don't take me back
God
to
damn.
You don't start no shit, man.
I thought
I'm,
motherfucker was
you know,
done.
I'm just really about to get excited about this motherfucker. I'm getting happy about 89, nigga.
now it's a good year. It makes you
Good-ass
feel
shit,
good.
man. Made me feel
How long
good.
we got?
All right, you done feeling
How long
good?
it-
So we
No,
can get
no,
on.
I'm upset with the fact that you getting mad at me because I'm feeling good.
What, bro? I ain't getting mad at you feeling good. I'm getting mad because you disrupting the show. Shut up, so I can carry on.
Fuck you in this shit.
So here we go. with Something you can get excited about.
Go ahead.
LL Cool J had "Walking with the Panther." Walking with the Panther.
I don't remember. Only thing I remember
So,
in 89
what's on that
is,
album? That's gotta-
is, that type of guy.
I'm that
I'm
type
that
of
So
type
guy.
that's.
of
I think
guy.
that's
That's the
on
only
that.
one I remember.
Is that on that album?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, that's
type
a
of
whack.
guy.
That was a whack ass
That's
album.
the
I
only song I
think.
remember. I think that's a
Whack.
whack album.
I think that's probably his wackest album ever. But
Is Going Back to Cali on that album?
shit, it might be. It was whack too, though. You gotta admit, going back to Cali was something that
Kinda like
you
went
kind of
off.
got excited about because first of all, the bass was on it. So back then, bass was something to us, and he's mentioning Cali. So we mentioned we cool with that, but the song itself was kind of horrible.
Yeah.
It didn't even rhyme in some of this shit. It was just kind of whack. I don't know what the fuck he was doing.
Yeah. I'm the type of guy and Going Back to Cali. I can't on that.
Both of them songs was horrible.
Might be wrong.
But
Look it up.
they were hits for him, I think, on that.
LL, you know, rap was still relatively new. So shit, we was probably knocking that shit.
So tell me something about both of y'all. Tell me something about.
Yep. Going back to Cali isn't that fucking goddamn.
Really?
Going Back to Cali.
That was a whack ass album. Tell me, both of y'all, tell me something about De La Soul. They had a
Shit.
First
that
album.
Daylight.
What's
To
the name
me,
of the album?
that's the first one that I remember of Native Tongue.
Something daisies.
3 feet. No, it's
3
called
Feet High and Rising.
Yeah, 3 feet high and rising. That nigga said daisies.
I
all I've seen.
remember the George Clinton sample.
It was loud as fuck.
Oh, me, myself, and I. Dun, 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 dun,
That shit was
dun,
knocking.
dun. But I didn't realize. I remember. Man, they blew up. I do remember, but I just didn't remember it being that successful. I didn't realize. And then we spoke on this before, right? About the hard times they was going through to get there. Like right now, they're
getting-
not.
Yeah, we
they're
talked
not
about
getting
that.
paid, or they didn't get paid for
Oh,
all that
'cause
shit.
of the label.
Something
Because they
like
couldn't
that.
clear the samples. Tommy Boy. Wasn't they on Tommy Boy?
Yeah, Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
I think they just put out something that's saying that they're released from them, but they told us don't stream their catalog.
Yeah, because they're not getting paid for
They're not
it.
getting
Yeah.
paid.
Somebody
Yeah,
else,
that's what I'm saying.
Tommy
They couldn't get the samples cleared. They never paid for them.
Yeah, so
Which is funny because I'm pretty sure they got fucked later more than they did earlier. Because, you know, everybody was sampling records when it first started. I'm pretty sure motherfuckers wasn't getting them all cleared, but they was getting paid. They was negotiating deals later and still getting paid. Tommy Boy never negotiated shit. So that's a cold one.
but that was the album. But even though we all kind of looked at them as weirdos,
Plug 1, Plug 2.
I didn't look at them as weirdos,
I did. They were a little too
I like Plug. I like
weird.
Pops.
but I've always liked weird rap. I always swayed towards the weird cats. So to me, it was like, don't get me wrong, they was out there a little bit, but I liked it. I really liked the way they was rapping. Didn't care too much for their fashion too much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it now, but back then I was looking at it like, damn, can't see myself. Even though the kind of chubby cat, whatever his name was, with the chip tooth,
Yeah.
he used to dress cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, I think the first song I remember is not Me, Myself, and I. It's Potholes in My Lawn.
Yeah, potholes in my lawn.
That's the
Yeah,
first
that goes
me,
from
myself,
our-
and I was there
And
first.
that goes from our rhymes, you
First hit,
see,
though, right?
that I concentrated on some very hard, you see.
That's
I don't
it.
ask
Yeah.
for maximum security. Them boys was bad.
Yeah, because Me, Myself, and I was with their first single.
At first,
Yeah.
like hits, but
Yeah,
for some
I think
reason
Pop-
that didn't come to me first though. I
Yeah.
remember Pop was
After a while, they came on. Their video came on all the time, and after a while, it kind of grew on me. And then I heard "Potholes in My Lawn," and then freaking "Just Say No." I was like, "Oh my god, these motherfuckers are something else." Half the time, I didn't understand what they were saying.
Yeah, because they used to speak on some shit that you'd
Yeah.
be like, what the fuck you talking about?
But and then they fucked around and got all them motherfuckers together.
Native Tongue.
Native Tongue.
Them motherfuckers
Daylight.
work.
And fucking Jungle Brothers. I was already on the Jungle Brothers.
Jungle Brothers.
Queen Latifah. I was
Jumped in.
already on the Queen Latifah.
Only Love.
So when they did Buddy, that was a wrap.
Woo!
I was done. I was good. I was good.
Buddy. That shit was
I'm just trying to figure out the time frame on that because
that must have
so when you say Queen Latifah though,
Yep.
She wasn't part of Native Tongue.
She all jumped in the Buddy.
yeah,
track, though.
because it was all Tommy Boy one
Yeah,
time.
yeah. I think
That's the only reason why, because I think they're all in the same label.
Yeah.
I wonder how Latifah did with her money wise on
But she's pretty smart. She had what's the name of her shit?
Sleep. No, I'm sorry. What was the name of her folks?
What's that?
Because Trek them all with her.
What was the name of her unit? Something flavor unit.
Flavor Unit.
Flavor Unit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was pretty smart. She diversified her shit and did different things.
We
with her money.
we guess we don't know the money wise
She
on
came
that.
out though.
man.
She came out though. She got out of that motherfucker.
She got to be, I'm sure she was a little smarter than that. And then she got into acting later on. But, I mean, and pretty much that was the year of a lot of the females, too.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you guys
Who are you
want to
talking
get
about?
into that.
Moni Love and
Moni
Queen
Love,
Latifah?
Queen Latifah, MC Light was still out.
Who light?
MC Light. I think that's 89 too. With
Light.
They're
with
doing Cha Cha Cha.
Cha cha cha.
that's not
Light as a rock.
89.
Cappuccino.
No, that's not 89.
Okay.
Is is it?
I don't know.
Because I thought the first one,
Paper Thin? That must have been earlier.
I think that's 89.
That was earlier.
Okay, it might be.
Yeah.
I remember listening to it
I
though.
can look it up.
Georgie Porgy and all that shit.
No, that's later.
That's all later.
That's her second album. That's the next album.
She got fire in that second album. I forget the name of that song, but
Paper
I
Thin
her
was,
first
Paper Thin
album, I
was
like.
fat.
First album, there's a song on that second album that's so knocked.
Because Paper Thin and what's
the
the
one
other
about she
word?
like
I
the
crammed to
gangster-
understand. I crammed to understand you.
Yeah, because, that's Eye on This. That's Cha Cha. Cha
Yeah,
Cha Cha.
what year is that?
Cappuccino. That was 89.
That's 89. So
Yeah.
look up Paper Thin then. What year is Paper Thin? They must have put them quick out.
88.
88. So
I
she
think.
put them back to back then.
Light as
yeah,
light as a rock. Wait, hold
Light
on.
as a Rock was
Light
not-
as a Rock. Paper Thin, yep, 88. So
So she put them out back to back, bruh.
yeah, but you forget though, this was physical copies. These
Yeah.
motherfuckers was putting shit out every fucking year.
Yeah, but you still. I mean, think about. No.
She's still fine. Why?
Because we just went over a whole group of people who put out albums in '88 that carried over into '89.
Is it because
She put out an album in '88 and put out an album in '89.
right?
So that's two albums to everybody else's one album that carried over.
And then she took a. That's what I was trying to tell you. That the Cha 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 and Cappuccino was in 89 and Paper Thin was in 88. So
See, but you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that it's the same thing we was talking about earlier. They're putting out these albums, like say in '88, and them albums ain't catching on until '89. That album she put out in '89 ain't catching on until '90. Because I remember listening to Paper Thin in '89. And Cha 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 and all that shit came a year later.
it's got to be some kind of weird way they start releasing shit. Because if we're getting different dates and
Because it's the same way
releases,
when we talk about Bobby Brown, Bobby Brown's shit was released in '88.
Who
When
that,
you
Ronnie?
look at like y'all just said, '89 was his year. '89, all his songs are going
Crazy.
number one and shit.
yeah.
But it was released the year before. That's what I'm saying. So I think it's the same way with however that formula is. It's the same way with MC Light. I believe that we seeing '88 for say Paper Thin, but we're listening to it in '89.
I don't know.
It ain't catching on to it because
Especially if it's
I
slow mail,
remember
man. It's like
I
slow as
remember
hell.
I remember listening to Audio 2 that because about Audio 2 after that.
Yeah.
And I was a big fan of MC Light.
Yeah.
So I automatically bought Audio 2 for top billing and all that
Yeah.
shit.
The brothers, yeah.
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 So I don't know. I mean, I ain't for sure on that 'cause I didn't look up none of that shit.
Yeah, but I wonder how they rate, how they rank,
How can you
not
tell what
rank
the
and
number
rate
one-
and stuff because, they ain't really have all that respect for that music back in the day. Like we ain't have no award shit, none of that bullshit. It was just
Yeah, but you got record sales.
yeah, record sales, but y'all at the same time, all you had was just you seen them on magazines and videos. You didn't see like they do now.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. But I guess that was just the times. We didn't have social media like we do now. We
Well, it's
just
hard
had
because they count streams now. They don't count record sales. Record sales are not big. Everybody just streams.
Nobody buys records no
Yeah,
more.
they just stream.
no, I ain't buying that shit no more. That
Hell
shit
no.
is- you gonna give me 12
Better for the
tracks.
artist.
Is it better for the artist?
I believe so. Because now you don't have to you don't there's no need to pay everybody. There's no need to have everybody else in your pocket.
Yeah.
You can put out whatever you want to put out. You can go straight to the world with it. And I mean if you're lucky, it catches on and you're making
That's what it is. If
you're
you're
making
lucky,
all the money.
It catches on. You can make all the money.
But even if you're not lucky, say it's not that big of a thing. You still have the opportunity to do everything yourself. You have total control over your music.
Yeah.
You don't have nobody telling you, I want this sound, I want this, I want that. It needs to be done by this time. It needs to be nothing like that. You're in complete control of your music. You can put it out any way you want to. Now, how big is your platform? That's all on that, and that's where the record companies come in. But nowadays, young people, they don't know record companies. They don't know who the fuck. Like if you talk to my kids, none of them are dealing with record labels.
Right. They don't do Sony.
Everything
RCA,
is everything for them is Twitter,
Yeah.
Instagram,
Yeah.
and what's trending, what's
Right.
happening. So if you're trending, you blow up.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think it's better for the artists now, and that's why the record labels are so mad because they're being cut out. They're not making the same amount of money they used to.
Yeah,
Make.
I think
And they're
it's
even
probably
torn.
better for them to push an artist.
And they're even touring
Yeah.
on their own.
They're making their money by touring. Yeah, that's what they
So,
make money on.
but that's what I'm saying. But the record label ain't getting no part of that.
Yeah, that's true.
Not to mention they're a lot more independent
Right.
nowadays
That's what I just
because
said.
of social media. You just
Yeah.
I mean, just saying.
I still think there's a place for a record label. I mean, but there's just
I
not.
don't think so.
I think.
I think they still have a place because they have a foothold in there right now.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're slowly. I mean, they're not slowly, quickly. They're becoming irrelevant.
Yeah, if you have a talented artist and you could get behind them and push them, like get them in the mainstream media and everything, you can make him successful. Unlike an independent, you have to get caught fire by like somebody has to catch fire on Twitter or YouTube or something like that, and that's a 1 in a billion shot. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. You can't
No,
tell me this thing never
hang
happened
on,
to you.
hang on. No,
Have you
no,
ever
no.
Listen to a song on the radio and didn't like it, and then a week
I like
later
that.
you have to find your
You're
ass
right. You're
singing
right.
it?
You're right. But what
Yeah,
I'm saying,
that's
what I'm
that's
saying is,
record
if it's 1 in a billion shot, what you just said,
Yeah.
it's even a bigger shot. It's even bigger odds against you for a record company to pick you up and do.
Yeah, but I'm just
You
saying
got a
record
better,
company-
but you
record company can make you
once
successful.
they decide to take you.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
what I'm saying is, you getting took by a record company is more than 1 in a billion.
Yeah, yeah.
They only
Probably.
bringing in. Each record label might have 30 people.
No, record labels. You know what the record labels are doing that makes you right on point? What they doing is saying how many hits does he have on Instagram, Twitter, or whatever? All right, he's got this many. Let's go try to sign that motherfucker right there. He's already got a following.
Yeah,
and then
but,
they're moving on.
But if you listen to interviews and stuff, these artists are saying,
I agree.
the artists are saying, yeah, you're coming at me with this shit, but I already got hits. Why would I sign with you?
right.
I mean, what benefit am I getting from signing from you? All I'm doing is help making you rich.
Right.
Right now, it's just me and my boys and stuff. And if you're lucky, you get a co-sign from somebody like Drake. You get a co-sign from somebody big
Oh hell yeah!
who's co-signing you, and then you set.
If you got a decent sound and you pay Drake,
You ain't gotta
Oh, no.
have no decent sound.
I think you do. If you got
No,
a
you
decent
don't.
sound and you pay Drake to come on your shit, you gonna get
You do.
millions of hits. And
You
then your
do
shit
not
gets
have to have a decent sound. Blueface sounds horrible.
His music
He
sounds,
got-
his
no.
music you don't think his music sounds good?
He got some songs that's okay, but
Yeah.
rap wise, that motherfucker is
That's
horrible.
His style. That's his style. Yeah, I
His
understand
style?
I
we were just talking about this yesterday. Me and my kids, and we were like, he's sitting there talking about how many rappers could rap off beat like he does and say, and he makes it sound like he doing it on purpose. Nigga, you off beat because you ain't got no rhythm.
Oh shit, Eric a fool.
Now the record company a success, I guess, would be what's his name?
Who?
The dude that just said he was gay, the Western
Cowboy dude?
Nas X.
Nas X.
Because they got behind him
And made him.
and pushed him, and he blew up.
Yeah.
So and then he had the big production on his video and stuff like that. So that's an example of an example of a record company getting behind and pushing. But shit, and then these cats that just to end it, these cats that are lucky enough to get, say, a record deal or whatever, say a Drake, say a whoever, they're quick to finish that contract
And get out of it. Yeah.
and get out of it.
Yeah, because once you got millions of people following you, don't need a record company.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Before, you didn't have that option.
Right.
You stayed with record, so record companies just controlled every fucking thing
Right.
that you did. Now, record companies ain't making that kind of money no more because they can't. It's a lose-lose situation for them.
Well, you ain't gonna find a motherfucker signing a 10-year deal, 10 albums like LL and Run DMC and all them motherfuckers. They sign them long ass term deals to be with a record company and make money. If you get one album with a record company, maybe one single, and them motherfuckers do their job right, you gonna have millions of followers and you don't need them no more.
Yeah, but
That's it, baby,
when you
that's-
consider the label of Def Jam around that time, back
It's a
then,
different
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
woo,
Well, you look
See,
at. I think the popularity. of
Kev,
Def
I
Jam
just think,
is-
but the difference is,
in
what
95.
you're saying is true.
Yeah.
But what the difference is that there's too many people out there proving that they can do all that without the record label.
Yeah, there's
I
some
mean,
great-
there's more. Truthfully, there's more artists doing it. These damn peanuts fucking with my throat. Pause.
fucking your throat.
I think your top
Hang on,
five
let me
record
finish.
labels, though.
Let me finish. There's even if you go to top 5, what I'm saying is there's more artists out there making millions now without the help of record labels.
Right, like Extension was like that, right?
Whatever,
And,
but
what's
they-
the dude with the funny hair color.
A lot of these motherfuckers
Yeah.
are. So you're seeing that if more, your top, if you want to go your top rappers, and some might say your top rappers, the reason why they're the top rappers is because the record labels are throwing them in your face. They're throwing them in your face,
That's what
throwing
I'm
them in your
saying,
face.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily that doesn't necessarily match up to money, to dollars
Right,
in their pocket.
right,
It means that they're just more popular.
right.
And
But-
but money wise, if you look at some of these artists that are successes that we are surprised when all of a sudden we found out how much money they got.
Yeah.
You're surprised. It's because there ain't all that. It's not all that overhead.
All that middleman shit.
They're not paying. Yeah, they're not. It's not. They're not getting a percentage. They're getting the whole thing, and then they're paying out
Yeah,
what they need to pay out.
right.
And so it's a big difference. Before I mean, we don't need to talk about that. Before
Yeah.
they used to tell you, oh, we only made this much, and
Yeah, you had no idea.
even though you selling out everywhere, they say, everybody got the same story. Every old artist has the same story. They selling out everywhere. They going from city to city to city, and they telling you that when we had to, your bus, your hotel,
They have no
so
profit and
on,
loss
so
statement. Yeah, no,
so
no.
this is all we got for you. And they coming back home. Remember, New Edition came back home and he was broke.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So everybody's got that same type of thing. Now, these cats, and Kevin Hart is a perfect example, even though he's a comedian.
Yeah.
He's a perfect example of doing he's putting every penny in himself.
Yeah.
He buys the arena or whatever. He provides everything that he needs, he comes out the pocket for.
Right.
So ticket sales, everything that he makes is his profit.
Mm-hmm.
He pays it out to the people that has to be, and that's what's going on now. People are doing that.
Yeah, they don't need. What's the big promoter's name?
Billy Graham.
Billy Graham presents. Yeah, they don't need them motherfuckers like that no more.
we done with this record label bullshit. Let's
Yeah.
get back to '98 or '89.
89, man. You motherfuckers, man. 89.
What happened in
Man,
98?
mad, because I'm singing this shit. Mad because I'm singing. You motherfuckers
I got
know what
close
year
to
it is.
graduating.
So also,
He's
they,
that close to the graduate.
so I graduated in '89, and so
See,
we can talk about. I know for a fact what I was wearing. I was wearing At that time, on a good day, I had on Levi's 501s, iron, creased, cuffed. If you pulled them up on your ass, they was too short because how high I have them cuffed because we used to sag. And then our shirts were basically, for the most T-shirts, we wear T-shirts. Remember, we wear white T-shirts with the white tank top underneath it, so you could see the white tank top underneath it. And
Ridiculous.
at that time, I know I was wearing
That's normal.
we
That's
call
what he
pro
wore.
we call pro models the hats, and for the most part, I was wearing either Raiders or that time. Remember Los Angeles Kings? The Los Angeles Kings
Oh, dude.
Everybody's
was everybody's wearing. DLC made that hella
DLC
pop.
made that shit popular as fuck.
And I gotta admit, even though I don't like to, I had the Jerry curl at that time. So I remember I used to take my hats off. Them motherfuckers used to be heavy as hell. They said, don't think that pow. That motherfucker was soaking with grease. But
Oh shit.
but I had that NWA look. And all my friends had the NWA look. That's what we did for the most part of it.
Ooh, that's rough.
Do you remember the difference between the Jerry curl and the California curl?
First of all, you talking to the son of a hairdresser.
Yeah.
So I know the difference between every curl. I know them all. Carefree curl. I remember the
shit.
club. I remember the Curl Nouveau.
Nouveau?
I remember Curl.
Curl Nouveau? I call that shit a
I think it's
Club
a Club
Nouveau.
Nouveau.
Why,
I remember.
Remember?
why you curl so bad?
I knew every damn curl because my mom was a hairdresser, and that's the reason why my curl was always like swap, 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 just swinging, because my shit was always nice because my mom was a hairdresser. But had the curl, and I go into some of the other fashions, but real quick about what's happening. But first, before I do that, on a good day, and don't lie, just tell the truth, because everybody wants to make themselves seem cooler than what they were or cleaner than what they were. On a good day in 1989, you was in the 11th grade, Tony.
Yep.
What were you wearing on a good day? One of your good days. So you got on your good clothes. You got on something that you going to school and like, I know I look good today.
Probably for sure Levi's. I mean,
Yeah,
that was the only
Levi's was
shit
it,
that you
yeah.
could. I mean, fuck. That's the only thing
Well,
you could wear.
we had at Burbank, we wore Dickies too.
Yeah,
we
I ain't
wear
gonna wear
Dickies.
Dickies. That was too much for me.
Yeah, we wore Dickies too.
Yeah, it was more most likely, like you said, it was Levi's and a T-shirt. But I was.
And we was talking earlier. You talked the other day. We all wore the Latigra polo shirts.
Yep.
and-
That was normal shit right there.
we always wore those.
I don't
Couldn't
think
afford
nobody
the
wore
actual
anything.
polo.
I'm trying to think, Eric.
We
if he
wasn't-
if he
you know what was
If
cool?
he was black, you just wore some Levi's and some fucking.
It was
t-shirts.
easy. You know, it was
That was easy.
it sounds easy now because you think back to it. It was easy. Our uniform, our outfit, whatever was easy because we T-shirt and Levi's, and
Okay.
you were set. But that's us thinking about it as grown folks now.
But we
When we
going to
were
the club.
kids, wouldn't know much. I know you older, bro. We weren't going to no clubs,
No,
and
I'm
you
not-
was
I'm not.
DJing and stuff.
That's
We
what
didn't.
I'm DJing, go
We
to
didn't get to
clubs.
do that shit.
We got to
You
do
remember
that,
we
yeah.
younger and we wasn't in no clubs. So,
Yeah, we DJing.
but
Yeah.
what I was gonna say is
At a
for
skating
us,
rink.
Tony's a little different because Tony's mom was busy working and Tony was being grown, so he was home by himself a lot. But what I mean by that is
telling you,
is that
dog.
Tony, I think when I listen to Tony's stories a little bit, Tony had a little more, he was treated more like a grown up a little bit, where my parents, I was trying to say that it seems easy to us now.
Yeah.
It was hard for me to get those Levi's, those T-shirts. My mom, even though I wanted Levi's, my mom was at whatever J.C. Penney's or whatever else talking about, these same as Levi's. I'm like, nah, these ain't the same as Levi's.
Oh,
Like, what are you
man.
talking about? These don't sell, whatever brand name it was. It was some whack ass brand name. I'd be like, Mom, I need Levi's. They're like, these ain't Levi's. So I do remember, as easy as that outfit sounds, as cheap as it sounds to us now, I remember appreciating that stuff because, hey,
Simpler.
Shit.
you know what I
Simpler
remember?
times.
Y'all
Shit.
gotta remember
I
this.
remember.
Tony might not have did this because, he from the East Coast, but you gotta remember this shit, bro. Do you remember, this is during the same time, so we rocking the Levi's, the T-shirts. Do you remember when we started rocking the different color snakeskin and eel skin belts?
Yeah.
So
I had white ones.
Was you clean? Yeah, boy. You was clean when you had on the Levi's, white T-shirt, and you had the different
Yeah.
people had red ones. You had turquoise.
The Bloods had them red ones for
yeah.
sure.
And that's the thing. Certain colors,
Yeah.
when you like the red stand
The
out.
red
So once you
stand
put on
out.
red, it says you was gangster. It says you was related.
Yep.
Same way with Dickies. You sport Dickies, you saying something a little different. We sported them and
Blue.
shit, but you say it, especially it was blue for the Crips and tan Dickies. All the Bloods wore tan Dickies and shit. And if they was
Essays.
really into their shit, you see a cat sporting red Dickies and shit. You see them wearing green Dickies and shit like
Crazy
that.
shit like that.
But Chad, you remember the
I
ill
remember
skin,
all that
snake
shit.
skin
I
belts?
remember all that shit, but I remember I couldn't wait to buy my Levi's Miller's Outpost.
Levi's,
Motherfucking get that buy one get half price off
Well,
deal.
we had that store downtown we used to buy from too. What was the name
Chef's
of it?
King?
Was it Joe Sons?
Oh,
Remember Joe Sons? We used to go down there and get our Levi's down there. Yeah, 'cause they had the big.
I had Miller's right around the corner.
Miller's
I had
Outpost,
those
yeah.
before.
You can't wait for that
There
sale.
ain't, there ain't no Miller's Outpost no more.
They don't got that no
I
more.
got rid of that shit.
But that shit was.
That used to be the
That's
spot. 'Cause
pretty
That's
much-
where we get all the Tigre from too.
Let's get
That's
all-
pretty
yep.
much Pac Suns right now.
Yeah. Miller's Outpost was the spot.
Miller's Outpost was it.
Yeah, but I had the white. Them motherfuckers weren't real, but I had that white snakeskin thing. After a while, you wear it too much.
It start flaking.
It start flaking
you
off.
start seeing that it ain't
Crazy
really
as hell.
snakeskin. Yeah. But
Yeah, I remember that shit.
that brings me into
Sweatshirts.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Motherfuckers had sweatshirts like a
The crew
motherfucker.
neck-
Every
the crew neck
goddamn
ones.
color. Yeah.
The crew neck ones.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and
Cause they accent your T-shirt. Remember, you
The
used to have the different colors.
Bruh, them
I had
sleeves.
a t-shirt. I had a t-shirt coming out the bottom of it and shit.
Yeah, that's it. That
a
was
lot
the
of them
move.
cats were a little bit snug because they wanted to make sure that belt shows every time they
yeah.
moved their arm or something.
That
I
was
was
the
like,
look,
what
bro.
the fuck?
Yeah.
That was
But
the look.
that sleeve got, that got muffed. That motherfucker, that's a Ginsu sleeve. That's what I used to call it because you used to iron that motherfucker so sharp. You had to make sure all that bullshit, all that, like
Man,
you took
you talking
time.
about you talking about the time of ironing. That's when we
Yeah.
used to iron. I still iron,
Starch
but
spray.
but I don't put creases in my shit no more and shit.
Nah.
But
Iron them
back
fucking
then
wild.
we put creases. I remember I used to have a crease going down the middle of my t-shirt. I used to put the crease right down here, and if I was feeling it, I might put two creases on the back if I could. But we used to crease like Mexicans used to have
Yeah.
creases like a motherfucker.
Hell yeah,
boy.
they used to be.
I had military
Them
creases.
motherfuckers be razor
Like
sharp.
bullshit.
And they wouldn't. I remember the motherfuckers stand certain ways just so they don't fuck their creases up. Same way kids now don't walk because they don't want to crease their shoes.
They shoes, yeah.
That's the way Mexicans used to be about their creases and they dick.
Yeah.
Mexicans used to wear the shit out of dickies.
Hell yeah, that was their move.
Yeah. It was either pants or they pants, and then they cut them off.
And I want to go into other
Shout out to
fashions.
the SA.
Motherfucking house shoes on.
Them corduroy,
Oh, them corduroy slip-ons?
I want to go in more into different styles real quick. But real quick, I just remember there's another person that in '89 was that we didn't give credit to as far as music goes, and I know it's rap, but was Too Short.
Yeah.
Too Short at that time
Right.
was blowing up,
Yeah.
especially for us in the West Coast.
That's
I
when they
mean,
start banging.
Especially Bay Area.
yeah, I was
They let them come into a sound because they was like
well,
denying them.
but you got to remember at that time, especially like the year before or two in '88, all of a sudden it wasn't so much about because I say in '88 because I'm bringing up like Rodney O and Joe Cooley and all them cats too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bass became
Oh, yeah.
if you had bass, all of a sudden people would let other shit pass.
Yeah.
So lyrically and all that stuff, your
Yeah.
bass was what was supposed. So whatever pounded harder in the car, you played, and you played the shit. I mean, think about it. We got sick. You got sick of hearing the year before '89. So we talking about '88, '87, '88.
That Miami bass bullshit.
Freaky Tales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got so tired of hearing Freaky Tale, and I love the song, but it was just like every car went down the street, womp womp, womp womp. It's like, god damn, I'm tired of hearing.
Yeah.
But so I remember, and I'll throw this in there real quick. I know I'm not for sure what year, but I remember listening to it in, I want to say '89. I remember listening to the year before too, but '89 they had a Move Something, I believe, was
Two Live?
Two Live Crew.
Yep.
Two Live Crew,
That
man.
Miami.
I know we both be talking about R&B,
Me so
but-
horny. That's what I'm saying. The bass. That's the
bass-
Miami
and
bass.
The bass used to pound in that
It was
shit.
that Miami bass.
Can you
and
even-
then
can-
we had the Bay Area
Can you
shit.
name any other Miami groups? Because they had them two cats
at that
too.
time.
I remember them cats. I'm trying to think of their name. It was two dudes that came out of there too. That was But even I'm trying
Out
to
of
think.
Miami?
Yeah, what was their fucking name? It wasn't Too Loud Crew. It was another one that was them. And then they had, of course, you went up to Atlanta and you had MC Shadi or whatever.
Shadi.
MC Shadi, and it gotta be tough.
Yep.
Everybody sing this song. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
That's wild.
Action.
Da-da-da.
From,
Yeah, that used to be the
From
shit, too.
Atlanta?
He's from Atlanta.
Shadi. Yeah, he's from.
He was Atlanta.
He must have been influenced by Miami or
Yeah,
something.
well, shit.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
folks were at that time.
Because then he could take the credit. I was the first.
So getting back to fashion though, what also came out at that time, I remember. You know what? And the trip thing is, I never had them. Wanted them, but ain't no way in the world at that time because this is before I got a job and everything. So it wasn't no way in the world my mom was gonna go out. And you know what? She might have, but just getting her in the store wasn't gonna happen. Cross cords came out too. You remember cats start dressing? This is when all of a sudden cats start dressing a little bit like money. Start like this. Now this before nobody was wearing all the brand names and shit.
They trying to look like drug dealers?
They're looking like drug dealers. Oh. So everybody used to wear them Cortez Classics. Mm-hmm. I still got this picture in my mind. Cortez Classics.
Troops.
The cross cords. Mm-hmm. So the cords didn't go down. Mm-hmm. They went across like this. Because Oxford Street used to sell them. And they had the silk. That's when they start wearing the silk shirts. Like a silk shirt, you had the chain. But you had the silk shirt. Everybody wore like a regular
rayon.
Silk shirt. Rayon, yeah. And then they put the bubble goose over the top. Remember, everybody started wearing them big because they had the big leather one too, the bubble goose. And everybody started wearing them. You had the other goose with the hood feathers.
Was that 8-ball jacket area?
That came.
That must have been later. That had to have been later.
Yeah, because I had to be closer. That had to take us into the cross color shit because the colors start getting wild. This is right before we were wearing all them colors.
Yeah.
So I remember that.
Rough.
Oxford Street had all that shit. And I mean, I used to go in there and damn near dream. To be like, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's where everybody used to get their snakeskin belts from and all that shit. And I remember I had my first pair of lumberjacks, my boots. I forgot what the brand name was, but I had the ox blood. I had the ox blood ones, bro. That red, it was brown. It was brown.
You wore that to that high school?
Hang on, they were brown, but they had that rich. You know, it ain't weren't red. They just had that brown, rich brown that make them they call ox blood.
Yeah.
And they had that color in them. And I remember they had red shoelaces, and I took them shoelaces out and I changed them for they had another pair of shoelaces that was like brown and red kind of weaved in together. And I used to wear them, but I used to wear them motherfuckers. Them motherfuckers were the leather was so nice in them that I had to get them. So I ended up buying them. And the thing I hated about them is first of all, they was heavy as fuck. They were like real work boots. like log cutter boots. I don't know what the fuck they were.
Shit.
And then I used to put them on, and I used to wear them loose, with the, and they be flopping off me. And also, them motherfuckers made me like 3 inches taller. I used to put them on. I used to go up just like this.
Like 6'7" and shit.
No, back then I wasn't. I grew when I got out high school. So I remember having those, but
There's some boots. Your legs got strong.
I used to go to Oxford Street, man, and
Oh shit.
I used to damn near dream about some of the shit that was up in there because that shit used to be
Niggas can afford
used to
that
be
shit.
expensive. But there was a lot of niggas in our school that was wearing that shit. And that's when
but
drug
niggas
dealing.
doing
Yeah,
something.
that's when drug
Niggas
dealing
doing
was really.
something. Just starting out like real.
Yeah, you start seeing it was like it became that everybody was doing it.
Right.
You know, there was a time when drug dealers were drug dealers.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, everybody was selling
fashionable to
drugs.
Well, no, because they dressed pretty much like they had the MCM. Yeah, all that bullshit.
MCM is one of the first brand names I remember blowing up.
Yeah.
My stupid ass fucking around and goddamn triple down goose and shit.
Yeah.
Burning the fuck up.
Wasn't that?
I was
That's it.
warm.
But that's one of them things. That's one of them things that was popular on the East Coast first.
Yeah.
They had been wearing goose downs and all that shit.
But that shit was appropriate attire on the East Coast. This shit
Yeah.
was out here motherfuckers wearing that shit. We was burning the fuck
So
up.
I finally bought me
man.
I bought me a
It
goose.
gets cold here.
I bought me a goose down, but my goose down was a it wasn't a starter, but it was a jacket. It was Orlando Magic's. So that might have been that was 1990 because I think that was our first year because then it was all black with that that blue that they had.
Yeah.
They had the big ass hood fur and shit. And think about it, we in California. I got a big ass.
Big ass motherfucking
Them
goose
motherfuckers,
down.
I put it on. I used to be like this.
Yep.
But I remember having that mother. Everybody thought that motherfucker was the cleanest because of the colors. But I was lucky I lived on the right side of town.
Yeah.
Because we forgot to throw in. We forgot to throw in at this time. We talked a little bit gang there, but at this time, gangs shit was going rampant.
Ooh, it's running wild right
Yeah,
here.
he was
And that's right when
Crips,
NWA about
Bloods,
to come
Mexican
through.
gangs.
Yeah, that's right when NWA comes through. That shit gets real crazy.
So fashion, yeah. So also have to say, being the sneakerhead that I am, the Jordan 4s came out in '89. To me, changed the whole shoe game for me.
So the Jordan 3 changed.
No, to me, the
4s.
Jordan 4 changed it for me
Yeah.
because I thought Jordan 4s was the best. To me, was the greatest shoe ever came out. I've changed since then,
Yeah.
but at that time, I thought it was the greatest shoe to the point that I went and bought me some, because I couldn't afford them. I went and bought me some LA Gears that looked just like the Jordan 4s.
Wow.
They look just like them, bruh.
You know what's crazy about that? What do you think the Jordan 4s cost in '89?
$100.
Yeah.
I mean, but truthfully, they stayed the same for a long time.
Yeah.
Now they're 170, whatever, when they come out. Even though they got upsell, people upsell them, but
Yeah.
when they come out, they're $170 something dollars. But for a long time, the Jordan stayed $100, $100 tennis shoe. When Jordan finally went over $100 is when he. You know what? The first $100 tennis shoe Jordan had was the 2. The 2 was, remember, because it was made with supposedly Italian leather. It had the little lizard print on it. That's right there and shit. And so they said it was like an Italian shoe. They were trying to qualify it, and that's the first $100 shoe that Jordan had. And then they just, from then on, the 3 might have went down a little bit back in price, but then when the 4 came out, I think it was close to $100 again, man.
That's
I think it all went back up.
Even back then, it was
Yeah,
that
it's
close.
expensive.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
my
that's why I ain't
first
never worn that shit.
my first Jordan was the Jordan 5. The Jordan 5,
Ugly ass shoe.
and shit, them motherfuckers was cool when they came out.
They cool, but they was
I used to
ugly
wear
ass
them. I remember I used to wear them.
shoes. Out of
'cause
all
I got my- 'cause I
shoes,
got my own
think
job. I
got
have my own
one
job,
pair
yeah.
of Jordan 5s.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, huh? And you know I can hella
I ain't- no.
one pair of Jordan 5s. I really not Jordan.
Yeah, I think they're ugly now.
Yeah.
I think they're ugly now. But it's a lot of shit I think is ugly now that I wouldn't wear that I wore back then.
It was strictly Vans and
and
K
as we do this, what do you say?
Vans in case
it was strictly Vans and K Swisses for me, because there's no way.
In '89?
He's right.
K Swiss has been around since 60.
Oh, I know
Six
Case has
sling.
been around for a while.
That's it. That's
I
the
did
cleanest
Case,
cotton
but I
shoe.
didn't.
White.
Case Swisses. I didn't rock Case Swisses until I got out the army, and all of a sudden because you got to remember
Classic
now,
look was yours.
because the classic look. So the Dockers, everybody was wearing Dockers and shit, and I remember I used to wear the Case Swisses, and what presented, even though we go into another year now, what kind of influenced me on that shit was all of a sudden you had like Grand Poobah, and you had them type of cats that I really looked up to. So I'm looking at that style, and I'm like, that's what I want to wear. I want to wear Tommy Hilfiger shirts. I want to wear polo. I want to be polo down. I want to be still rocking like Dockers, Levi's, still doing shit like that. But we had the baggy, started getting real baggy. Even though we always wore baggy stuff, it started getting real baggy.
Yeah, because I'm saying freaking
Yeah.
Hammer. And then it was all the East Coasters like Kwame, Kid and Play. All them cats was wearing the baggy
yeah, but those were baggies.
khaki.
I'm talking about when we started
No, they were
wearing-
actually like Dockers or some shit. That
But they
were,
never wore. No, MC Hammer never wore that shit.
No, but I'm saying there was other people that were wearing. They were like regular khakis, but they wore them hella baggy for some apparent because obviously that was the thing.
When I started wearing like, okay, there's 2 different things. The MC Hammer and Kwame shit, those are like diaper pants and shit. Motherfuckers was wearing, they were like tapering at the legs and they were hella baggy up here.
Nah, that was more.
That was all
more
that
MC
dancing
Hammer
shit. That was
yeah.
that dancing shit. As far as baggy goes, I started noticing, I mean, besides when we talk about Dickies or we talking about NWA, I'm talking about the real, when it start getting real baggy, is when you start seeing like all them East Coast rappers that was, wearing camouflage jackets, beanies, and their pants would be like hella baggy with boots and shit. And that's when I started Onyx, all them cats. You start wearing like that kind of shit.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
And what's the niggas? I live for the funk. I died for
Right,
for-
right. That was like they were in size 40s
Yeah,
when they were
and that's
32.
when we started wearing that shit.
Yeah.
And like I said, we got to stop that shit because we're going into other years and we're gonna be talking about this shit. We're gonna try to do a year,
Crazy.
different
But
years.
but at the same time, especially out here in Cali, I mean, DOC, that motherfucker came out and fucking just killed that shit when he.
It's hard to not mention when you're talking '89,
Yeah.
even though we're talking R&B. It's hard not to mention DOC, boy.
Ooh,
That
that
motherfucker came out
album
and
is
just
classic.
that motherfucker. He came with lyrics.
Came out of no. He ain't even a West Coast
West
cat.
Coast. He's
Straight
from
out
Texas,
He's out of
Dallas,
Texas.
Straight out of
Dallas, Texas.
Dallas,
He had that West Coast sound because he had Dre. The music was West Coast, but then that nigga was lyrical, like he was from somewhere else, the East. But then the nigga was from the South, so it was kind of
dirty
crazy.
South, yeah.
Didn't sound
Yeah.
nothing like the South.
Nope.
But
Nigga
that
spit shit
motherfucker
out
was
that
nice.
motherfucker.
And
Yeah.
I don't know what that nigga did in his prior life, but that's too bad because he
Got in that accident.
to get in an accident, but to,
Severed his
but
cord.
to get in an accident, and he was. I remember they say he was in a Corvette. He should have died or whatever they said, but to get into an accident, bro, and be able to walk out of it, be able to be okay, and the only thing you come out with
Throat.
wrong is your throat.
Yep.
That's a punishment, especially when that's your moneymaker. That's
yeah,
what you
been waiting
use.
all this time to get on.
That's
and
what
put
you-
that motherfucker on.
And I'm not trying to, man. Please don't. People don't take it the wrong way when I say that because I don't want to. I'm not saying that he was a horrible person or whatever. I don't know what the hell he
We
was.
ain't know.
But it's just crazy that that's what happened.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? His hands is his shit.
He didn't give a
gets
fuck. He
in-
was arrogant.
He gets in that badass accident,
Right.
and the one thing they take from him is his hands.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Top notch surgeon.
And his
Fuck hands up.
throat. I mean, because his voice. That's what made him. You got to remember, he wasn't just a rapper. When you heard him rap, you like, man, his delivery, his voice is just
Yeah.
killing everybody. This is his delivery. Like this motherfucker.
I mean, that first
joke.
album, that I mean, when you
That
hear
only album. Shit,
when
that
you hear
His
him,
only album.
and when he comes in, you
just
already
like,
know.
ooh.
You already know who coming in. That's crazy,
It's like
bruh.
it's like his shit was just on a whole nother level. His voice was just crazy. So
Yeah.
that's just wild that happened to him like that, man. And so you can't help but mention him, man. 1989, bro. I end 1989 with. You got something you want to add to it?
I mean, this is 89 just itself. There's a lot of people like Big Daddy Kane, Smooth Operator.
That's, you know what, and that's what I wanted. That's what I forgot to bring up. Also in 1989, we gotta really think about. We really gotta think about what was the name of the video shows we was watching at that time because
MTV Raps,
Yo, MTV Raps
MTV
was the
Raps,
What was
Rap
on-
City,
Rap City. What was on BET? Is
Rap City.
It's Rap City.
that Rap City? What
And
was
then-
come on in the afternoon when we used to be?
Uh,
get out of school.
I would watch.
it was Rap City, and
but
what's his
then I
name
would
with
come catch yo and
my
check
man
Rap
with
City.
the
Tigger?
no rap. He did Rap City, but
Okay.
there was
You talking about Donnie?
Vince Soul, Donnie
Donnie
Simpson.
Simpson.
Yeah,
yeah,
that was Video Soul.
Video
I'm
Soul.
talking- but I'm speaking more on the. It must
and
be
then we
Rap
had the
City.
box. Then we
Yeah,
had
the
the
box.
box. Yeah.
But I remember how we used to watch those videos, bruh. And when you start talking about like, man, like you say, Big Daddy Kane. It just reminds me, Big Daddy Kane was one of the greatest, one of the most popular ones.
Yeah.
But then you got all them other, man. How many times did we see 3 Times Dope and
Like
there was
mix this one.
there was so many of them groups like that
Yeah.
that you never we forget about now. But all them cats had 3 dancers. All had the dancers in the
Oh,
background.
you had to have a dance. EPMD had
Yeah,
dances.
so you had
Yeah.
they had the 3 dancers doing
Right.
shit and the high flat tops and everybody. There were just so many of those groups, and you used to be able to sit there and watch those videos, man. And there were so many songs that I would love. I would love if there was a radio station or some type of station that we could
Brought all
go
that
on
back, yeah.
that played those songs all the time. Those songs that they don't got the big. They're not great hits.
Nah.
But those are the ones we were seeing every single day, man. Cool C, cool, you got it.
Right.
Those videos, man, we watched that shit. I mean, them motherfuckers was walking down the street like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit is
I mean,
crazy. shit.
It's just great. That nigga's
I
still
mean-
in jail, I heard.
That's
I mean-
but that was a good time. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but that was the year. Okay, I'm gonna hit you with another one.
Who you gonna hit me with?
That's me and Kev's one of my favorite Cool G rap. Road to the
Oh
Riches.
my God.
Road to
Right?
Riches.
Road to the
was
Riches.
Yeah.
the album
Right?
And then
there.
Hit you another one. I'm gonna hit you with another one.
Before you
Okay,
leave,
go ahead.
before you
Go
leave
ahead.
him though, that's what I'm talking about. You got to talk about the symphony.
Molly Mall.
Molly
Yeah,
Mall.
all them.
Craig
All
G.
that
that
whole group, Craig G,
Cool G
all
Rap,
them motherfuckers.
Cool G
Big Daddy
Rap.
Kane's part of that.
Big Daddy
So you
Kane,
talking about them
Master
motherfuckers? It's like
Ace.
all them people. This is
Right.
80. This is 89, 90 when we all sitting around. We sitting around like those are the videos that we watching, and we like.
Master
this is
Ace
shit.
had that one cut that was
Oh.
called Born to
On
something.
the road. Shit. Boom. Boom. Boom.
Motherfucker, if you had a car, I don't care if you had an 86 Toyota Corolla, you was gonna bump that music regardless
shit,
because
Master Ace.
Born
See
to
now
Roll.
we talking that shit now. We talking that shit now. Everybody ain't gonna be to relate to.
They
But them
need to put
motherfuckers.
that shit
But
in
them
your own
motherfuckers.
enough.
But
They
them.
need to go back and
But
get that shit.
but them motherfuckers who relating right now, like they like speak that. That's what I'm talking
That
about.
shit,
Because
boy.
that's the stuff that we were listening
Right.
to.
That shit was knocking.
I think about. I'm like, God. I even remember listening to. This is around the same time, bro. 89, 90. When I started listening to. You call you're a philosopher? Yes,
Yeah, I
yes,
think very
yes,
deeply.
yes. Yeah. It's like, man, I'm listening to that shit like.
That's what I'm saying. BDP came out with
Yes.
Jack of Spades.
You like
Jack.
you
Jack.
talking
That's the shit
that,
right
that
there,
album?
dog.
That's the Blueprint album, right?
Jack Spades.
Done.
That's it. He killed
That was on
That's
the,
the
soundtrack and to the movie.
Yeah.
And then
I'ma
Blueprint.
Get You Suckin'.
Blueprint came out. KRS-One. For all those youngins,
Man,
there
that
was a
was- that
Blueprint
was an
album
album.
Put that
before
shit in your
Jack.
Love's gonna get you.
And in your case, put it in your streaming deck. Put it in your iTunes, your Spotify, your
And I hate and
Amazon Music, whatever the fuck you put it
and
on. Go look it up.
and I hate about it because like, I mean, this was like prime hip hop year.
That shit is-
This is like
See, that's what.
rap.
That's, hang on.
We're not
that's
even
what,
fucking
that's what,
done yet.
That's what I was. See, that's what I was trying to explain to when we first started. When you said, "Man, I don't know." When I looked into 1989
Yeah.
and I was doing R&B,
Yeah.
I start realizing that the hip hop side was crazy at this time.
I told you there's a morph. You don't think so? I think it morphs right in that time. Those 4 or 5 years is when it just really
I didn't say I
morphed.
didn't think so.
It's tough to call.
No, I was just saying.
It
I didn't
morphed.
say it didn't morph.
Yeah.
I'm saying, what is morph? What are you talking about?
I mean, you think the transition R&B out as much as it was hip hop starts to dominate. Every radio
Oh, I
station
see what you're
is
saying.
going. It's morphing
I see what
out,
you're
yeah,
saying.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what? For sure, for us.
Yeah.
But you got to remember though, we were. I got to say that we was me personally. Tony probably the same thing because we the same right there. R&B was never as dominant for us in the first place.
Yeah.
Because from the
But
time
the radio stations, what they were playing, you know what I'm saying?
but the radio station wasn't playing this.
No, they just
The stuff
when
we
it starts
talking,
to
the radio
come out.
station, but-
No, this is when it starts to transition out. If you go listen to the
Ooh, they still
transition
no,
out.
they never did. They still don't play that
Man,
shit.
they ain't playing that bullshit.
Oh man, you tripping? You don't think rap dominates the radio?
Man,
now?
you ain't going. No. That's not what I'm
Oh,
saying.
let's
I'm
say.
talking about this type of rap. When you talking about, first of all, EPMD wasn't getting radio play.
No.
Well,
KRS-One
LL was getting
KRS-One is
played.
not getting radio play.
They only getting radio play in the mix shows. That's when they was
no,
getting
no,
all the
no,
mix
no.
shows at night. That's the only time you would hear rap.
You say that, but
shit, I was mixing
mix.
it. Shit. I'm saying,
No,
yeah.
we was hearing that bullshit on radio from San Francisco.
Right, cameo. I'm from the Bay Area. That's when you was
We're
hearing
not.
rap.
That's what we trying to explain to you. That's
Yeah.
not. It's not being played anywhere else.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So if you're not from the Bay Area, L.A., New York, shit, that's damn near it.
Shit, yeah, we're from the Bay, so you know we playing that shit. Cameo was knocking.
Maybe if you was in Miami or something, you damn sure was gonna hear a
Yeah,
little
I
bit
might-
of.
You might not
You
even hear
might.
it then.
Might.
But what I'm saying is for us, it's always been hip hop.
Yeah.
R&B was secondary all the time. We listened to R&B because that's what was being played on the radios and stuff.
Yeah.
But as me myself, because you got to say from shit damn near the fourth grade, third grade, I'm hearing like Rapper's Delight,
Yeah.
and from then on, I'm like, from Rapper's Delight to jam on it, to
Nucleus,
to Run DMC,
Run,
to the Beastie Boys, to LL, to and you just keep on going. I've always been from that point
A hip-hop head.
about rap.
Yeah.
Now you talk to my brother who's 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
He's different. He's gonna tell you that.
Function, Cameo.
He's gonna tell you. I was gonna say he's gonna say the funk era.
Yeah.
And for him, it was I remember going into his room as a youngster when I was like shit in the second grade. Way back then, I remember going in his room, and when you go in there, he got Rick James posters.
Rick
he
was
got
the shit.
Bootsy Collins
Yeah.
all on that wall. He got Parliament all on that wall. He was all about that funk and Confunction and all them cats. Ohio, I remember the Ohio players because their album covers was crazy. They
Yeah.
always had some naked chick,
Some
naked
lady
chick, big
doing
ass
something.
fro,
Yeah.
and it was they never showed like you wouldn't
Never
see
showed
nipples,
anything,
nothing.
but they
They
showed.
showed the whole
Silhouette.
the whole
Yeah,
body,
yeah,
and you'd be like, damn, I imagine see that stuff like, ooh,
Right, but face
boy.
it though. In that year, only time you ever listened to R&B is when with your girl, because
I
she
didn't have-
wanted to listen to it.
I didn't have no girl in '89.
But when you with yourself and your boys, it was all hip hop.
Nah,
it was all
I
hip
didn't have it
hop.
like that.
Yeah. Oh.
I didn't have it like that. I was never even
We
back,
always had a mixtape.
even
with
when I was
slow
back then,
jams.
and even back at that time. I'm just gonna be real. In '89, I'm a senior. Even though I'm trying to talk to girls, I was never in the position where I was able to, like, I'm so comfortable that we kicking it like that, where we listening to music together and shit. We just didn't have that shit. When I got old, maybe a year later, in '90, I remember having my first real girlfriend, and she was a New Edition fan, and Any Heartbreak, I could say, was still going strong.
Drill knocking.
And I remember that then and that's when Guy and all that shit started coming. Matter of fact, it was a girl who turned me on to Guy. I was talking to this chick and she turned me on to Guy.
She turned you on to
Saying
Piece
that-
of My Love and all that.
And she like, yeah, Guy, this album was.
Cause you with a girl.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. But that was over the phone. You made it sound like we listening, like we chill, like you do now with a chick. You listening to music together. I was never at this time. I was never in a room where I'm chilling, listening to slow jams with a chick.
What?
What?
In 1989, I wasn't. I'm a senior in high school. I'm
Right.
trying to get girls.
To graduate.
Yeah, but I'm still
Nigga
I'm
live
not
by
in that
himself,
post.
basically. He
This
definitely
is-
couldn't do it.
Well, he's not telling, but he's also not telling you that he had a girlfriend at that time
Yeah, but that's
who ends up being the mother of his baby and stuff. So it's like, so that's who he was with.
Yeah.
I didn't.
We always had a slow tape on.
I didn't
deck,
have
so
that shit. I had slow jams and stuff. I had them,
slow tape
but I
on
just
deck, dog.
I never got into the spot where I was like kicking it. I had a boy, and I speak on it now. My boy Odell, that motherfucker was the motherfucker that it was a trip. We would go, so we go to school every morning, right? And we pick up everybody on the way. So me and my boy Chuck, we lived the house from each other, right? So we would start out heading to Burbank. On the way to Burbank, we go through the 29th Street Apartments. That's where we pick up Odell first. We hit Odell up. Odell always, as a senior, this motherfucker used to have girls, right? But not only did he have girls, he had girls like staying the night and shit. So
Damn.
I don't know, like his moms didn't know or
He sneaking
because she
through the
was
window.
working. I don't know what she was doing, but eventually they would know because he ended up having kids and stuff. And while we, but anyway, this motherfucker always had women. We be picking them up. This motherfucker have girls from the night before. They staying there, and we would come in like, damn, this fucker just be fucking all the time. We would pick him up. Then we pick up Dre, Randy, all them cats. They all lived in 9. And so we would pick them up, go through over the railroad tracks, go to school. But I remember thinking then, like, this fucker just got women. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how does he, not just to have girls, we all were talking to girls at that time, but to have it where they could your parents letting them spend the night, like you damn near grown and shit. I didn't have it like that.
Nah.
So,
No, because you didn't have nowhere to go. That's what it was. He had somewhere for him to go. If you would have had somewhere to go, you could be doing the same
maybe,
thing as him.
maybe.
Yeah.
But I didn't have. I never was lucky enough to get them type of chicks.
No,
I was always.
But they find you. The chicks that know you got a spot, like
Maybe
you got
so.
somewhere to go, they be like, oh,
Maybe
what's
so.
up? Let's go hang out with Eric. Because they somewhere to hang out. They ain't have
Maybe
nowhere to go.
so.
So if you have somewhere to go, they coming over there.
Yeah, I don't know about that because that was my boy. We was all tight. That motherfucker was with us all the time. So how was this motherfucker finding these girls they weren't coming to him?
They playing basketball, so when you go, I'm going home, come with you.
I'm in it. That's what I'm saying. I'm with the motherfucker every day. That ain't happening. We all together. Don't me wrong, he'd talk to chicks in a minute.
Yeah.
But he had that freedom where he could be like you say, he had that freedom where, come over to the house
Come over
and
to the
shit.
house. Come on.
And we didn't have it like that.
Tell her later, come over to the house. You ain't doing nothing.
Shit. Next motherfucker who was like that, he didn't have that kind of freedom, but he ended up, it was Chuck. That motherfucker ended up, not Dawson, the other Chuck, my other boy Chuck. And he ended up having a girlfriend. And they was like growing up before the rest of us was growing up too. But
That's some crazy
my first girlfriend, she had parents just like mine that was strict. And so we sit on the couch and we had watched the video Blockbuster movie, and then it was like,
shit.
it was like, okay, it's time for you to go home.
I'm
like,
taking us
okay.
off subject for 1 second. Just 1 second. I remember being in high school, man, and my little broad I was kicking it with, her mom was a nurse, and her mom would be gone. We used to go over to the house, and kick it. So we doing all kinds of wild shit, and she always wanted to get in her mama bed.
You told us that already.
Oh, yeah. I did.
Remember, he
Come on,
told
man.
us that, and we was like, what the fuck? Go ahead and tell the
Hey,
story.
no,
Go ahead
we
and
don't
tell
do
you
that.
and said it now.
Let it go. I'm just tripping on the fact what motherfuckers with accessibility do shit. That's what it is, Eric. That's the same thing because I couldn't go to my house and do that shit initially, but her mom was always gone, so we was up in there doing shit we were supposed to be doing. I'm just saying. I think it's the fact when nobody's there and motherfuckers know you can come over and kick it. Motherfuckers just do that type shit, bro.
And now that I'm grown, I can say this too. There's a part where the confidence ain't there. So I can speak on it now because I'm grown and ain't worried about it. But I remember not being confident, not knowing. So you're not confident in your game. You're not knowing. So you scared. You're not knowing. I got boys like say my boy Odell, for instance, who hella qualified, who hella experienced.
Knocking them out.
He was always like, nigga, go talk to that girl. And you're like, oh, no, I'm cool. Man, if you don't take your scared ass over there, talk to that. Man, you better talk to that girl. She looking at you. You're like, man, chill. Nigga, hey, girl. hey. My boy here, he want to holler at you. I'm like, man, he be
talking to
so.
her.
I remember that kind of shit going on all the time.
we all
And
had that shit going
then the rest of my boys, we all laughing. They all laughing and shit at you. So it was a little scariness up in there too. So I just never had that confidence until I got older.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Tony's ass, for instance, I speak on Tony's behalf.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, it's what
no,
I do
you
best.
don't.
It's what
no,
I do best.
you don't.
Yes, Tony's ass sitting
That's
over there.
that bullshit.
That motherfucker sitting over there, half grown, paying bills and stuff. Mom gone for a couple of months, 3 months at a time. So this motherfucker over there like he owned his own house.
Living in. He got to live in, girl.
He acting like he got his own house, he got his own car.
Damn.
He got all this shit because moms ain't there for a while.
Yeah.
So he living it up. That's why that motherfucker had a
like you paying bills.
he had damn near had a wife.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
She ain't stay with me. The fuck?
You fucking like
She
you paying
stayed.
bills. What you tell me?
No, man. I was
Did you
growing
bring her over to the house?
Yeah, I brought her over to the
You
house.
was hitting them, huh?
Nah.
Stop lying. What was stopping you here? There ain't no grown-ups there.
Nah. She wasn't my first.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, there you
My
go.
first.
thought that was your
I need a
first.
dream sequence soundtrack in the back.
You nasty
My
motherfucker.
first. Yeah, that was the spot though. My boy would come over to my house, and they would fuck.
Damn.
He'd be
You
smashing
would
some
fuck your
girl.
boy? That was your
No,
first?
he would fuck.
Nigga, why would you take
Yeah,
that shit
see,
like
that's
that,
what I'm
dog?
saying, man. That's
I'm just saying.
You can't say
he said his
shit.
boy would
And
come over to the
on,
house
man.
and he
Nah,
was
he
Smash.
would
smashed.
Say
fuck.
nothing
He
like
would.
that.
He would use
He
my
said-
house.
He said that
He
wasn't
said
his
boy would
first.
come over.
Kevin,
Yes.
let me finish.
There we go. There, we
He
go. There goes
said-
my story.
I was telling him about
Let the time
girl.
go.
I was
There go my story. Everybody else has stories.
Oh shit!
I
Here
was-
you go.
Go
You
ahead.
Cat, I was telling him about the girl,
Right.
and he got a little upset and said that wasn't my first.
I heard that.
He said my boy used to come over and he would smash. That's what he said. I'm just going by what he said.
Right. But if you let me finish, he
go
would
ahead,
bring.
bruh.
Yes, go. I'm glad everybody told
Better-
their stories.
No, Tone.
I'm just going by what you said.
Black ass.
Go ahead, Tone.
Listen, my house would be the spot he would bring his
That's what I
girl
heard.
because obviously
Oh,
we're
now
teenagers.
he bringing his girl.
He bring his girl to my
He
house.
said, he did say it has to be the spot, but then he said his boy would come over and he would smash.
My boy would come over and smash because that was a spot that there was
That's what
no
I said.
parents.
Right.
Right.
That's what I said.
That's
And
what I
I'm
heard.
sitting there watching music videos while he's using one of those extra rooms in my mama's house. Fucking. Right? And I'm sitting there
okay,
like,
clean
that's some
up.
bullshit. I ain't fucking.
You paying bills like you fucking.
I ain't paying bills like I'm fucking nothing. I'm paying bills like I'm
no. He putting the check in the mail.
I'm putting the
His mama paying the bill.
yeah. Mama,
He making
I'm a
sure
damn-
he make sure he mailing it off when he's supposed to.
listen, man. I had fucking responsibilities at that time. I ain't got time to do all that shit. Eventually,
You motherfucking sick of the motherfucker.
A couple of
That's
years
crazy
later, though, you
bullshit.
couldn't tell me shit.
Oh shit.
that's for sure.
You couldn't tell me shit.
Y'all motherfuckers.
1989.
That's a good deal.
Movie wise, real quick. Movie wise, we know Do the Right Thing. We mentioned that earlier. Came out.
Yeah.
Back to the Future. Which one?
Who knows?
Third, second.
I think it was the second one. Yeah, 2 came out. That's when they put out the Nike mags on that.
Do the right thing. You
the
said
right
that
thing,
right.
right. Yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
Roadhouse like a motherfucker.
Batman with
Batman, 'cause Prince did the Batman
Prince,
and all that
yeah.
bullshit,
and what's the Joker's name? Jack Nicholson.
Jack
Yeah,
Nicholson.
That's that year. I think that was the big
bullshit.
movie of the year, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, he killed that shit. Yeah, it was bad.
So that happened.
Uh,
All I remember is, truthfully, at that time was Do the Right Thing. When did I'ma Get You
They-
Sucker come out?
I don't know.
Lean on Me.
That was 89? Smoke crack, don't you, boy? You smoke crack, don't you, boy?
I think Harlem Nights.
Well, jump. That's somewhere around there. Harlem Nights somewhere around there. I'm gonna get you sucker somewhere around
Yeah,
there.
because
too.
Eddie Murphy was putting out movies like crazy.
Look that up real quick, Kev.
Eddie Murphy was singing that year.
No.
Yeah, he did.
In 89?
Party all the time.
89.
That's before then.
Nah, he got that one joint. What's that? Simple?
Party all the time
Party all
was
the
before 89.
Put your mouth on me.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
That's some Tony shit.
yeah, you asking
That's
Eric?
Eddie Murphy. That's
Is
that's
that-
what-
is that
That's
what
at Tony's
request?
house.
That
That's
was
at
a
Tony's
request?
mama's house.
You was requesting that shit, dog?
Look up I'm gonna get you sucker real quick. What year is that? Because it has to be somewhere around that time.
Nah, fuck that. Tango and Cash.
When is I'm gonna get you sucker?
It is 1989.
There you go.
There you go.
And go ahead and go do Harlem Nights.
That's-
I knew I'm gonna get you sucker was right then.
Harlem Nights.
Hey, what movie is Jack of Spades? Is that Harlem? That's
1989.
See,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, because the Jack and Spades BDP came out.
Yeah, what movie is that though?
That's
Is that I'm gonna get you sucker?
no, that's
That's not I'm gonna get you
the
sucker.
other one with
The Wayans brothers and shit.
yeah. What the fuck is that motherfucker?
What's the name of that movie?
With
Jack,
Man,
Jack,
that's
Jack,
fucked up.
Jack. Jim Brown.
Jim Brown? Yeah,
Jim Brown's in I'm gonna get you sucker too.
yeah, but he ain't. Oh man, I forgot.
What's the name of that fucking movie? Jack of Spades. Remember the chains and stuff is what everybody, the gold is what everybody thinks is a
Everybody was
drug.
doing that shit. Stupid ass.
What was the name of that
And you know
fucking
what?
movie?
They ain't lying. That was a whole rope.
What?
Like the gold rope. That fucking
Dookie
gold
ropes.
rope, dookie ropes
Yeah.
and shit. I was like, God, every rapper had that motherfucker.
Yeah, you had to have them bad boys hollow them motherfucker.
Fuck.
That was the shit. I used to want one of them bad boys. We
Hey,
had
look.
we actually had motherfuckers at school that used to wear them. Some cats. I don't know how real they were.
Yeah,
But these
that
had
shit
cats that
can
used to
never
wear
be
them.
real.
Do you remember when everybody was wearing the silver? When everybody was wearing silver chains and silver,
You sure Jack
silver
Spade is
everything?
not the name of the movie?
I think it had to be Jack and Spades.
It could be. I don't know.
That's a
Shit.
damn shame.
I'm gonna get you sucker.
That's BDP, Jack of Spades.
Where's I'm gonna
Yeah,
get
but
you
that's
sucker?
a song though, right?
I'm gonna get you sucker. Is that it?
Maybe.
It's I'm gonna
I
get you.
think, I think it is. I'm gonna get you.
I
sucker.
don't know. Shit.
Might be. I'm gonna get you. I don't know.
That's
Anyway.
crazy, bruh.
1989.
But at the same time, bruh, come on, you trying to tell me the special ed?
Special Ed's another one.
Woo!
Oh,
Yeah, it was a
young
shit.
boy
They
came
don't
out
turn
and
this
did that
motherfucker
shit.
around from that R&B shit. Y'all
Yeah,
really
we
come
all
up
in
with-
hip hop because
all in the
hip hop was
Took
was
over.
a
That
big
was
year. They took
that was
over
a
that
big
year.
that was a big year.
Stop it.
Fucking that. third base. I mean, come on.
1989, bro.
Yeah.
It's a good year. I graduated. Kevin been graduated for 10 years already. And they graduated in 1979. And
Eric
Tony
Love.
was graduating the year after.
Eric,
I'm older than him.
Eric love telling you what your life is.
He don't know nothing.
That's what I do
don't,
best.
I don't pay Eric no
You don't know
motherfucking
shit.
Motherfucking nowadays.
When I say something ain't true, just say it. Speak up, nigga. You was born. You
As
was.
soon
You
as I have
graduated in
time.
1979.
As soon as you give us time to do
If
that,
I graduated
we'll
in
do that.
'79, your ass graduated in '70, like for the fucking like '83.
I graduated in 89.
'83.
I just said 89.
'83.
Okay, I'm telling you what year I graduated.
I'm telling you, if I graduated in '79, you
I
graduated
know what
in
year you
83.
graduated. 79, and Tony graduated the year after me because I'm older than Tony.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I don't understand why that's so hard for him to get through his thick skull that I'm older than him, so he needs to respect.
That motherfucker 1 month.
And
1 month.
That's it.
That's it.
1 month.
That's it. That's all I need to be.
That's it.
It's 1 month.
I'm older.
Huh?
You need to respect me.
Yeah. You're a lot closer to getting your finger in your ear. I mean, your finger in your ass.
I've already had that. That's another show though. You ain't had the finger in your ass yet?
Yeah, I had a finger in my man.
What?
Fuck, man, come on, man.
Damn,
But
Kev.
When?
Who put a finger in your ass?
And what was his
Asian
name?
doctor. Shit, that's her name.
Oh, it's a her.
Oh,
he
it's-
had to say it
oh.
was a her.
It
He was
her.
trying to
Yeah,
make it
doctor.
sound like, come on now.
Hell yeah, I don't do
So your doctor is
It's
a
an Asian
her.
female.
woman.
You got a woman doctor.
Yeah.
Why you do that for?
Because I don't want no man touching on my motherfucking shit.
Really?
Wow.
that
That's crazy.
She
You that
has-
homophobic.
Not to mention she has
I
no
never
parts
had-
like you.
Doctor has to
Never
be.
had-
Your doctor has to be a man. I mean, a
Woman.
woman. Because you're homophobic like that.
I'm not homophobic.
You just
There you
said
go
you don't
again,
want no
Kev.
man touching your ass. You
I
just
said I
said
don't want
it.
no man touching my shit. That's all I said.
What? First of all, there's nothing
But the
fruity
bad
about
part
that.
about it is
Don't try to change the subject. We
When I
talking
was
about
playing
you.
football in high school, you know.
They used to grab your nuts and tell you to cough.
Yeah.
You like that?
No, I didn't.
Yes,
That's
you
why I
did.
motherfucker switched to a woman.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, no. Serious.
You know what? I thought about it for a second, then I saw, he got his shirt, he got his tank top on. And he got his, he kind of showing his arms. I was about to grab his nuts and tell him to cough, but I was afraid he was gonna sock me.
Wow.
I was about to grab his nuts, but I ain't gonna
Yeah,
do
that's crazy. Female doctor?
that. I got a man,
All
doctor,
up in
bruh.
you.
And he be all up in my ass.
That's what I'm saying. She got little hands, dog. You know, they ain't so bad.
You got little hands.
That motherfucker be
She
all
got
up.
little hands.
Yeah, but
I be trying to
She
explain.
don't have the same
Dog.
parts.
Dog.
Don't bother me none.
He be up in my ass. I be trying to explain. I be like, yeah, so I'm having this problem. He said, oh yeah, I feel it. He cut me off, man. I feel it. I mean,
Damn.
Fuck
damn.
that.
I'm like, damn.
Fuck
So what we
You
gonna
ain't
do
even
about
ask me
What we
first.
gonna do about that?
Fuck.
that.
But I tell you what, like Tony just said, I'm like, this ain't even being funny. But Tony just said, I just feel like with a man, he understands more. So he's understanding exactly where I'm coming from. When I'm talking about certain things with him, and and the only problem I got with my doctor now, because I got a new doctor, my doctor retired, is that he's a good guy, but I'm older than him. So it's kind of crazy that I'm sitting there looking at some young cat that's, basically, I don't know if he's fresh out of medical school. Don't get me wrong, he's a good cat.
Yeah.
He's very, very attentive and everything. He listens and everything I got to say, but you're looking at a young dude that's gonna help you with your health.
Dude, I'm just saying, young dude got his finger in your ass?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
I ain't got no issue.
No
I
Asian
ain't-
female
I
pegging
ain't got
you. I
no
don't
issue
know.
with
I
a man putting his
understand
finger in my
that
ass.
what?
You got an Asian woman pegging you
That's crazy.
with her finger?
That's crazy.
She cool.
I bet you like it.
I ain't love
She
that.
better
I'm
be
getting
cool.
excited.
So
You
you,
get-
so,
what?
so,
You
when,
ain't
so
getting
you when
excited?
you with your lady,
What she look like?
You don't mind ass play? I mean, I'm talking about what's going with
Wow.
you though.
Oh, hell.
Wow.
I mean, you at your doctor. You say you don't mind your doctor doing it.
Man, she got a purpose. She's gonna do her thing and get up out of there.
So you
Purpose.
saying that your lady don't get to play in your ass?
Hell no.
You don't like that?
Wow.
Just because you like that shit don't mean I don't play that.
I didn't answer the question. I'm asking you.
I already gave you the answer. The answer is no.
Oh, all right. You don't. You ain't gotta get all.
I ain't finished.
You ain't gotta get all kind of like you acting a little funny. You acting a little funny about it. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's no kind of way about it.
Okay, you don't like ass
Hey,
play.
do you know ahead of time? So that way you can get the trimming? shaving or something.
She'll tell you.
She's
I
thinking,
switched
hey,
the
like,
schedule, man.
this is your-
my appointment's is on.
Wait, Sonny, you ain't went
You ain't
in
regular,
to
so
get
you
your
don't
ass
go-
checked yet?
You don't never go
I
get
ain't get
checked.
my ass checked yet.
What?
You need to get your ass checked, bro, because you getting old.
Tone,
Well,
Tone,
first of all,
Tone.
there's a certain age for you to do that.
45.
And you passed it.
Ain't no 45.
It is.
I thought it was like 50.
45? No, you talking about colonoscopy.
Your shit's already done.
No,
bro.
I'm good.
Your shit clogged up like a
Ah,
motherfucker.
shit, Tone, you dying.
You need to get
Listen.
that shit done.
I'm not like you guys getting that shit in a regular.
You need to go
You
get
go
that
to
shit done.
yearly, get a yearly
You
checkup.
laughing, but my shit good. My
They
shit
ain't tell
good.
me shit. I'm good.
What?
They ain't tell me shit.
You getting close to the age. They're going to send you a little kid at the house.
Man, I see the way you be eating too.
The
Your
kid.
shit all clogged
The
up.
kid. Shit
You know,
kid.
I eat a whole lot healthier. Listen, let's get this out on the
They
table.
gonna- they
Let's
gonna-
get this out on the table
they
right
gonna
now.
see-
Like,
man.
what we got? 15 minutes. Let's get on
No,
the
we
table.
don't even got that. They about to send you the shit kit.
What you got to get out on the
I'm
table?
good.
That's what you got to get out
Don't
on
tell
the
me
table.
about eating healthy, motherfucker. I'm healthy.
Your colon fucked up.
How you know?
Let me see.
I'll shave too. You better.
I stick my whole arm up in that motherfucker.
See, that's what I'm talking about. You too comfortable with the men
Ooh.
shit right there. That's too comfortable.
Why?
Hey,
You're
I'm just
comfortable.
saying.
That shit
I don't
ain't
mind.
gay.
That motherfucker said, "Let me see your ass." That's what he just
He
said.
got
I know
a
his
young-
shit-
he
I
had a
know his
young
shit
bull
got-
up in his
I
ass.
know his shit got polyps falling up out of it.
I ain't got no polyps. What the hell is a polyp?
That
Is
shit
that a
falling up out
sandwich?
your ass. I know you got that shit.
Let me get a number
shit.
2.
I be
Sandwich.
watching. I be sitting there. I was in the bathroom.
You sitting there.
I was in the bathroom with
At
you
the
the other
same
day,
time.
and I heard you.
Oh shit!
I heard you.
You straining the shit, Tone? You jacked up, dog.
I told him don't strain. Just let it fall.
You
Just,
regular,
just,
you ain't
just be
regular.
comfortable, let it fall out.
You're
Just let it
straining
fall
the
out.
shit, dog. Something wrong
What
with
is?
I'm taking
What is
fiber.
not regular? Regular is
I'll
going
take
to the
fiber, bro.
bathroom.
it. In the morning, you go to rough it in the morning.
I have no gallbladder, sir. Everything
Hey,
runs through me.
I take fiber and I got a
Y'all
squat,
motherfuckers got
and
your
I got a squatter
gallbladder.
potty.
Yeah.
I got a squatter potty and I take fiber.
Damn,
I'm good.
That's because you need it.
That's all right. My,
you'll get fucked up.
my
I don't
shit's
need
all
it.
good. They put the TV camera in there last time. He went up the camera. I could see that shit. It was going all through my shit.
I thought they put you to sleep on that shit.
It depends. One they do, the other one they don't. I've
Damn.
been through both.
Damn.
I'm an expert.
See?
You need to get your booty hole checked.
Problems.
Let me see if you go regular. I'm just trying to kill you on stuff. So
I
you understand why you
shit.
should go.
I
No,
shit.
this is why you should go to the doctor regularly. If you go regular, like to the doctor, get your checkups every year, they'll send
Tell
you
'em,
that
Kev.
Cologuard shit.
Tell 'em,
the
Kev.
Cologuard shit, they just shit and they take your test and say you good.
You
They
good.
give
You
back.
can mail that
But
shit
if you
in
don't,
now.
Tell 'em,
Yeah, that's
Kev.
Cologuard. If you don't, then they gotta go up in your ass with the camera and be
And
all
they
up in
going
your
up
shit.
in your shit.
Because they gonna know. They ain't that you don't know.
I
they
think y'all
no
got
history
issues.
in your
That's
shit.
why you gotta go do it. Ain't
Nah, I
nobody
ain't
tell
had
me
no
shit
camera.
yet.
That motherfucker good. I go
Okay,
regular
nigga.
every year.
I saw
I
what
was
you eat.
just at
I
the
see the
doctor's.
shit.
They
I
ain't tell
see
me
the shit
shit.
you eat.
You better tell your doctor you ain't shit. You ain't no finger in your ass. That's what you better tell your doctor.
You need a finger in your ass, bro.
I got no problem
Hey,
shit.
And once you tell your doctor, I guarantee you look dead at his hands like this.
That what you did when you looked at your doctor?
I ain't
Dead at her
mind.
hands. She said,
I
next time
ain't
you
gonna-
come
I was a
in,
little nervous.
We gonna take
I was a
that
little
way.
nervous about them going up in my ass,
Yeah, I
but
looked at her hands.
I was nervous for another. I was worried about, the
Results.
just
Residue.
worried. You worried about how it's gonna feel and shit. Because when they put you to sleep, it's no big deal. But when you awake, the whole time they up in you, bruh, you feel like you about to shit all on. Like you feel like you about to just blast on everybody that's back there. And they be like, I know. They be like, I'm like, I just feel like I'm. They be like, that's how everybody feels. Don't worry about it. If it happens, they say, in worst case, if it happens, it happens. It's nothing we ain't seen.
Of course
I'm
not.
like, that still don't make me feel any better. But
Yeah. Well, of course not. The doctors. They see
you
all
need to
that
get
shit.
your ass checked.
Tony, you need to get your ass checked.
I
I
see
think,
where
I
you-
think both
I
you
see the way
motherfuckers need to be
walking.
out of my ass. That's what that is.
All right, though.
All
Don't
right.
fuck around
We-
and
we-
later on be talking about, oh,
we in
shit,
there with
man.
that.
They about to cut
We in
my
there with
ass
that.
out.
We in there with
We in
Tony's
there with
ass.
that. Get
Whole-
both you
nothing to
motherfuckers
touch.
out of my ass.
Oh, we all right.
He
in there.
homophobic about his ass,
Uh,
and you just saying that nobody go up in your ass.
Okay.
Eventually.
You need to get that shit done,
You
man.
need to get your shit checked.
I need to talk to your girl because I know she's probably wants the same for you. She wants you to have a healthy.
I don't
body.
think she appreciates you going up to her and talking to her about how no doctor hasn't gone up in
She
my
probably,
ass.
she probably don't appreciate it right now thinking about it, but once
Tell her tonight, Tony.
once I talk to her, she's gonna understand where I'm coming
You know
from.
what?
and stuff.
Tell her
There's a
tonight.
reason why.
Why am I holding the mic like this?
Tell
There's
her
a
tonight.
reason why that toilet is specifically for me because
'Cause your
she don't want to
colon
go in there
bad.
because
Yeah, 'cause your
I
colon-
go in
Your
there on
shit
a
is
regular
fucked
basis.
Up, dog. Your shit fucked up.
Wait a minute. I don't
heard
believe
you-
none
I
of you
heard you
guys
the
got
other
a PhD. I never said my shit was fucked up. I said I go on a regular basis.
Okay.
Thank you.
still-
When,
Doctor.
didn't you get your pancreas taken out?
I got a lot of shit taken out.
That's what I'm saying. All that shit.
So that shit go in me
all
and
that
fall
sh-
right out.
All
Blah.
that shit's related to your asshole.
So if I, you know what, you might want to check this seat. You might want to throw this motherfucker out.
With that 1989, bro.
1989.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Love you, ma.